If you just got here, make sure to double tap the screen. Let's try to get to 100,000 likes super quickly. It helps boost the live and send it out to more people. All that good stuff. So make sure we double tap the screen. When that pink bar comes up, fill it up once, twice, 3 times, perhaps 4. Fill it up all the way. All the way. There's no holding back. No holding back. Also spam those shares down there. That helps boost the live, send it out to more people. You can copy a link or send it to your MAGA family member, which, what a great option. And of course, drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time, but I would recommend you go follow the Instagram and the Twitter and the YouTube, because that's where I'm going to be. Guys, Rebecca, thanks for the subscription. Also, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal in the link in the bio. If you want to support the live in the last 9 days of its existence in this form, it'll take a different form. It will still be live, but it'll take a different format in the future. Yeah, listen, I gotta be honest. This shit's getting banned. I'm just being. I ain't gonna hold you. This shit's getting banned. This stuff's getting banned, man. This is getting banned, guys. I can't even hold you. I wish I could say something positive. I was listening to the, why is this what is going on here? I was listening to the arguments today from the Supreme Court, in front of the Supreme Court, and it's going to be like a 8-1 kind of deal. This is not going to be a close ruling. So anyway, so definitely follow on the Instagram, the YouTube, the Snapchat, the everything else. It's all in my bio. You can pick, whatever platform you have. It'd mean a lot if you could follow on all those, given everything that's going on. Law thinks it's going to be a close ruling. I don't think so. I personally don't think so. I think, I think that's the consensus among the legal community, that it's not going to be very close. But again, Law is a lawyer and I'm not. So we'll see. It should come in the next couple of within the next week. Within the next week. Anyway, listen, and where will I go live? YouTube. YouTube is going to be the all platform for me. I'll post videos then. And also what I'm planning to do on YouTube is just go live. I'm hoping that in the first week of a possible TikTok ban, folks like Parker, Dean, Chris, and I can all hop into a Twitter space and we all live stream it on our new platforms, and everybody can kind of go there and find out. But I haven't talked to them about that yet. I don't know if they'd be interested. So we'll do all 4 of us debate on a Twitter space or something like that. Anyway, I mean, it would have to be Twitter, because I know people don't like Twitter, but it'd have to be Twitter just because of the space function. What's your YouTube handle? It's just Harry J. Sisson, same as it is on all platforms. So yeah. Why is my phone it's bugging me out, man? It keeps tilting. So anyway, if you're MAGA, let me know and I'll bring you up and we can talk. You can tell me why you're MAGA, prove me wrong. People are saying Twitch. I'll have Twitch. I'm going to cross stream to both Twitch and YouTube. But again, you don't have to, just because the debates will likely take place on Twitter doesn't mean you'll have to have Twitter. Sid, thanks for the flying jets. We'll be streaming them to the YouTube, so you just watch the debates on YouTube. People are saying, why not IG Live? I don't think there's a mechanism to do this in the same way on IG Live. So, I literally just got a text from Parker saying I'm down for that for sure. He must be here. So there we go. W Parker. Parker's in. So yeah, so if we do YouTube lives and do them through Twitter, spaces with me, Parker, Dean, and Chris, you won't have to have a Twitter account. You'll just watch it through our YouTube channels. Thanks for the Galaxy. I think Parker, Dean, and Chris all have YouTube channels now, so you can go subscribe to them. It's in the link in their bios, just like mine. But you won't have to have Twitter. You just have to tune into whatever stream you want to watch, Parker, Dean, Chris, whoever it might be. Yeah. What about Twitch? Yeah, I'm gonna have a Twitch stream as well. I'm gonna cross stream, so I'm gonna have a Twitch channel. I have a Twitch account. I've never streamed on it. It's Harry J. Sisson. I don't even know if you can find it. I don't think it's probably populated because, I'm sorry, we're taking a minute to get into the debates just because today was a big day for the future of literally everything. So I mean everything in the context of this. So. But yeah, I have a Twitch account. It's just Harry J. Sisson. On every platform, I'm Harry J. Sisson. This is me on Twitch. So I'm everywhere. It's just Harry J. Sisson. Same place. Same user. So anyway, Discord. I don't have a Discord, but I'm in Parker's Discord. I chat with people in there every once in a while. So Anyway, if you are MAGA, let me know in the chat and we can get right into it. We can get right. Does that sound good to everybody? It sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. And the last 9 days of this platform, I'm very pessimistic here because I keep saying the last 9 days because I think it's genuinely the last 9 days. Okay, this is crazy. What is going on here with this cord? Sorry, just trying to figure it out. I'm very pessimistic. So, but again, Law of the Wild says it's going to be close. Maybe he saw something that I didn't. Maybe he saw something that other people didn't. I don't know. Right? We will. We'll find out. It should be relatively close. They also could grant a stay. Meaning that. What's the Twitch again? It's just Harry J. Sisson. I'm going to put it in my bio before, whatever, the 19th. So they could grant a stay, meaning that the law is paused for the time being until the summer. So June or late June, early July, whatever it might be. Fun. Oh, I know you. Thank you for the galaxy. I know you. Anyway, let me know if you're MAGA in the chat. We'll get you up here. Last couple debates here. Isn't that global division? Isn't that the opposite of world peace?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I was just glad we're on the same
we'll
page.
concede on that because I want to get to my one of my favorite topics.
Oh, Ukraine is one of your favorites?
I mean, I'm pretty educated on the Ukraine, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, let's dive right in. So what what are your thoughts on Ukraine that you want to share?
Well, I just think Biden's handled it pretty miserably.
How so?
I mean, we look at the war, look how many people are dead.
Mm-hmm.
Think of all the casualties.
Yeah. A lot of casualties, absolutely.
I think that's
what does that mean that Biden has handled it poorly?
Well, if Trump was president during this, the last 4 years, I don't think this war would have happened.
Why do you think that?
I just think it wouldn't have happened. I think Putin's scared of Trump.
Because Trump was better at making relationships with world leaders.
Yeah, exactly.
Trump was better at Trump.
Yeah, I think so.
Putin's more friendly, bro. Trump was way better at making peace with world leaders than Biden.
Uh-huh. If Putin is so scared of Trump, why has Putin and Russia tried to help Donald Trump get elected every single time he's run? In 2016, we know that the FBI investigated this, the DOJ investigated this.
Why didn't Putin invade Ukraine during Trump's presidency then? I'm
happy to talk about that in a second, but I'm just pointing out that even in the 2024 election, the guy recently, Alexander Smirnov, who I don't know if you know him. He was an FBI informant that was apparently giving the FBI and Republicans information on Biden's corrupt dealings abroad. Turned out that all the information he was getting was from Russian officials who were giving him that information to hurt Joe Biden and his presidency and his campaign to help Donald Trump win. This same thing happened in 2020. We have intelligence on that. The same thing happened in 2016. So I think it's hard to make the argument that Russia is so scared of Donald Trump if they're working to get Donald Trump elected. And, Putin's on the phone with Donald Trump during the pandemic. Trump sent him COVID tests when the American people were struggling to get COVID tests, and he kept it secret. That's not somebody who's scared. Now, what was your why didn't he invade under Joe Biden?
Yeah, why didn't
Well, he's not, wait, hold on. Before you continue, he's not necessarily terrified of Trump, but he's friendly with Trump and he knows that he means business.
Yeah, exactly.
Trump treats America, he runs it like a business. That's why he's
exactly.
Oh, wow. Then he runs it like a shitty business because he ran up the deficit every single year of his presidency. I don't think a business that increases their deficit every single year and their debt every single year is a very successful business. And by the way, look at his track record when running his own businesses. He has to pay $500 million in fraud fines right now because he ran them illegally. So
yeah, but you investigate any business owner. It's so easy to any business owner. Bro, it's literally
you can't just say investigate every business owner.
You can't even use your
and
personal
say, they'll break the law. There's I don't understand what this talking point. There's not a plague of law breaking and fraud being committed in corporate America. Apple is not, to our knowledge, we don't have any evidence to suggest that Apple is going around and committing business fraud like Donald Trump did and lying about their financials to get better loans like Donald Trump did. Anyway, that's aside from the point. Trump doesn't run America like a business, and if he did, it's really shitty business. But why didn't they invade under Donald Trump? Well, it's for a number of reasons. War is far more complex than just, this person's the president of the United States, so we invade now, and this person's not, so we don't invade then. Russia didn't feel like they were modernized enough in their military under Donald Trump. So under Trump, they invested heavily every single year in their military. They increased their military spending every single year of Donald Trump's presidency to modernize their military. And specifically in February of 2022, when they invaded, they were looking around at the world and they were seeing that Europe was distracted. Germany and France were having their own elections and passing on power. Great Britain was divided internally. The United States was divided internally. It didn't look like the United States would be able to provide Ukraine with aid. And there was a new wave of COVID hitting Europe. So all those resources were going to there. Russia has historically also invaded countries during the winter. So they're saying, hey, the weather is on our side. We're modernized. The world is distracted. Let's invade Ukraine right now. It had nothing to do with Joe Biden being president. And let's just say hypothetically that Putin was saying, oh, Joe Biden's president. We think he's weak. Then Putin's much more stupid than we thought, because Joe Biden's very pro-Ukraine. He's very pro-NATO. He's very pro-helping our allies and very pro-helping democracy, whereas Donald Trump is not.
Bro, Donald Trump is way more sharp than Joe Biden, too.
Yeah, exactly.
You think
Donald Trump is more sharp than Joe Biden?
Morgan guy, that was a joke. You actually think Joe Biden is more sharp than
your interview with Piers? He's referencing your
Piers
interview with
Morgan.
Piers Morgan when he
Joe Biden's infinitely smarter, sharper, better than
right
Donald
now.
Trump.
Not right
You
now.
think as right now,
Guys.
Joe Biden could run the country better than
Guys,
Donald Trump?
have you heard Donald Trump speak? The other day,
heard Joe Biden speak?
Yes, I've met Joe Biden twice. I've heard him speak. The other day, Donald Trump was giving a press conference, and he was talking about Biden's ban on offshore drilling. And he referenced how Biden was banning 625 million acres from being drilled off the coast, the West Coast, the East Coast, and parts of the Gulf of Mexico. And Donald Trump was saying, yes, 625 million acres, that's like the whole ocean. It's basically the whole ocean. Just for reference, the Pacific Ocean is 40 billion with a B acres. On the campaign trail, he was talking about Hannibal Lecter, a fictional character, as if he, one, existed, and said, two, he endorsed him. On the campaign trail, he also talked about how he had this internal debate as to whether he'd rather stay on a boat with a battery or that was sinking or jump off the boat into the water with a shark where the shark is 10 yards away from him.
He's right
When you hear that, that does not sound like somebody who knows what the fuck is going on. He also says that windmills are killing whales.
Yeah, he did say that.
Like, gentlemen, I mean, come on.
I mean, yeah, there's a couple things, but like the ocean thing, bro, like you guys take everything so literally. Like, obviously, he's not like, doesn't mean the actual ocean. You're just saying like,
It's like
big.
Yeah, exactly.
But listen, the battery thing and the windmill thing, I won't argue. But
wait, that's like a really stupid. Like, he's not exaggerating there. He is saying he believes it's the whole ocean.
100%.
No, he's not. Look, you should look at
At
the
least
clip
he
of
can
him.
form a
He's saying,
sentence.
he said twice,
Exactly.
it's like the whole ocean. And it's
least he
also like,
can
it's not even like an accurate exaggeration. That's not an instance of which you exaggerate. Also, he's the president-elect. I don't think that our leaders should be exaggerating when talking about things like that, personally.
But at least he can form a sentence.
yeah, exactly.
No, he can't.
Yes, he can.
Yes, he can.
No,
Even
he
if it doesn't
can't.
make- some of them don't
Wait,
make
I'm
sense.
sorry. I'm sorry. If your sentence is total nonsense and it makes no sense at all, that's not forming a coherent sentence. Whereas Joe Biden, when you listen to him speak, he's great. The problem with you folks and other Republicans is that you've listened to Joe Biden speak
Suggestive clips, I
through
know.
Republican accounts
Not it.
on social media. They fed you like these very selective clips of Joe Biden misspeaking or saying something that doesn't make sense. And that happens to all of us. But your perception of Joe Biden has been warped. I would just recommend you listen to a Biden speech. He's given a bunch. He's given a bunch recently. He's going to give his farewell address on Wednesday, and you'll hear that. Oh wow, Joe Biden actually can speak, and the Republicans just made him out to be a fool.
And how about the debate? That wasn't suggestive at all.
Let's
that
talk
debate
about the
against
debate.
Trump
Are we
was
serious?
horrible.
That was
it was a comedy act. It was actually a comedy act.
Wait, just to be clear, like Donald Trump it's so funny because Donald Trump performed terribly during that debate, and people just like
he
don't
didn't
want to
have
talk
an
about it.
amazing debate,
Dude,
but compared to Biden, it was literally.
It was on his debate against Kamala was on a liberal station.
Yeah.
Literally everyone was
ABC?
against him. It was him versus the world. No, wasn't it like
CNN
Kamala's friend that like
the Trump and Biden.
no, not
Yeah,
Trump
CNN
and
was
Biden,
Trump and Biden.
Kamala.
ABC was Kamala and Donald. ABC's not liberal, and also Trump agreed to that debate. He
The
said he would do
moderator
it.
guy was literally all on Kamala's side.
Exactly.
No, they weren't. They asked
they were.
Kamala Harris questions that were really tough.
In fact,
About
didn't
the
one of them
economy,
actually
about Biden
didn't one of
and
them
things like
resign?
that.
Didn't one of them resign after the debate?
No,
Yes, I swear one of them either resigned or got fired.
no.
Someone
David
involved
Muir,
in
who
the
is the man at that debate, is still very much working at ABC.
Yeah, the man is, I think, 100%.
Yeah, both of them are still working at ABC. Nobody got
He was
fired.
there at the fire thing. He was wearing like a clip on his back, and everyone was flaming him. I remember.
Yeah, it's because for the mic. He did the mic.
Yeah, no, I saw that. Everyone was like flaming him. Like, guys, get a life.
It's stupid. It's stupid.
Exactly.
But guys, I mean, like saying that Donald Trump can form a sentence and Joe Biden can't is nonsense. Like you just gotta watch Joe Biden speak and genuinely go listen to Donald Trump speak, and you'll be like, wow, holy crap, this guy sucks.
Some of the stuff Donald Trump says is stupid. All right, I know
Everyone says stupid stuff, but like if you
he does say stupid stuff, but Joe Biden like actually can't even say anything. Like the debate, every time I mention the debate to you, you just mention Trump's debate against Kamala.
No, I'm happy to talk about the debate. But how about I just pull up a speech that Biden recently gave at Jimmy Carter's funeral, and it's 10 minutes, and you can pick a time in that 10 minutes, so you know that I'm not picking a selective time frame. And we can listen to like 30 seconds to a minute of it, and you can tell me if you understand what Joe Biden said. Does that sound good to you guys? Yeah, you're muted right now.
Sure, do 4 minutes 30 seconds.
4 minutes 30 seconds. That sounds good to me. And it's on ABC News. Oh no. Hold on, there's an ad.
All right. It's a good ad.
I don't even know what it is. It's like an egg ad. Right, 4 minutes.
It's like Joe Biden.
It's not funny at all, bro.
Yeah, even your brothers. I agree with your brother. It was not funny.
That was the worst joke I've ever.
Sorry, that was a bad joke. All
right, let's listen. Listen. Ready?
And shaped the world. The man had character. Jimmy held a deep Christian faith in God, and that his candidacy spoke and wrote about. Faith as the substance of things hoped for and evidence of the things not seen. Faith founded on commandments of Scripture. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and all thy mind and all thy soul, and love thy neighbor as thyself. Easy to say, but very, very difficult to do. In his life, in this life, any walk of faith can be difficult. It can be lonely, but it requires action.
I mean, yeah, but he's looking at the paper the whole time. Yeah, exactly.
Well, if you think that he can't speak, then he wouldn't be able to do that.
Oh, he can read off a paper. He should be the president-elect.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, you said that he can't speak and can't form a sentence. If he can't speak, then he wouldn't be able to even read a speech. And by the way, whenever a politician speaks, whenever Donald Trump speaks, he has a teleprompter.
So does Kamala.
I know, but you notice how
every politician does, obviously.
The little things, like he makes eye contact with everyone, like he's looking up and down.
He's just an old man. Like he's actually an old man. He's grandpa.
Yeah, he's just old. Like we're not saying he's like a moron.
Like 20,
he's just
30 years
old.
ago, yeah, he would have been much better. But right now, he's a grandpa. He can't do his job 100%.
We're not arguing he's like a moron.
That's exactly
we're just
why
saying
he's not the president.
Who?
Yeah, can you like stop talking?
All right, Biden is literally president right now.
I'm making a claim. We're saying we're not saying Joe Biden's a moron. We're just saying he's old. Like
I totally agree that Joe Biden is old. He's 82 years old. I totally agree. But the question is competency. Can Joe Biden do the job? So does Joe Biden stutter sometime because he has a speech diagnosed problem, a stutter? He's had one for his entire life, a speech impediment. Yes, he stutters. Yes, of course. And when he's answering questions, he might stutter. No problem. Does he speak slower now than he did like 20 years ago? Does he walk slower now than he did 20 years ago? Absolutely. But can he do the job of president? Yes. Resoundingly yes.
Not for the next 4 years.
What?
Not for the next 4 years. There's no way.
Well, even if you're like, yeah, I don't think Joe Biden can make the next 4 years. You're welcome to have that opinion. It's fine. But if Joe Biden, that's why you have a vice president. That's why you would have Kamala Harris when he was running to be vice president to step in. If Joe Biden says, yeah, 2 years into this, I don't really want to do this anymore. I'm going to head out and go live the rest of my life with my family. That's why you have Kamala Harris. That is an infinitely better option than Donald Trump. And then even then, Joe Biden dropped out of the race. He was not running. It was Kamala Harris, who is significantly younger than Donald Trump. So if your argument is age, Donald Trump by the end of his term is going to be the oldest president in American history, whereas you have Kamala Harris, who's significantly younger than him.
Yeah, but Kamala Harris might be worse.
Yeah, I think so.
Kamala Harris might be worse.
How?
She only cares about her own political career.
I think.
How? Why do you think that?
Because, bro, I can just tell.
That's
Oh my God. So Kamala Harris.
good reason.
That's a really bad reason. How about you? Can you tell me? Can you tell me why Kamala Harris is better than Donald Trump? And don't mention character.
Don't mention like a major
that's
part
all
of
they say.
leadership.
That's all you
What?
say.
So wait, hold on.
You say
and
Donald
foremost-
Trump. You say Donald Trump did all this stuff, but there's no evidence.
That's not true. I can give you evidence, but you said don't mention character. So I want to mention one
E.
thing.
Jean Carroll is a nut, bro.
Who is that? The star?
God, you guys are so crazy. I'm going to explain all of this to you. But first and foremost, you said that you think Kamala Harris is only in it to further her political career. She started on the lowest level of government. She was district attorney of San Francisco, a city, then attorney general of California, then senator from California, then vice president, and ran for president. That's working your way up the political ladder. I don't understand how that's putting her own political career first if she started in local government. She didn't just like say, oh, I want to be president, like somebody we know, Donald Trump, right? He didn't dedicate his life to public service, whereas Kamala Harris did, number one. Number two, good things that Kamala Harris has done. Again, the experience I just mentioned. We want people who are experienced in really important jobs. If you're getting surgery, you want an experienced doctor. You don't want Jerry off the street to find out if he can replace your goddamn liver or not, right? You want people who are good at their job. You have a plumber that comes in your house. You want a plumber, not Jeremiah over there who you just pulled out from the Wawa. My God. That experience matters. Kamala Harris has that experience, that necessary experience to get the job done. And she had good policy, pro-choice, investing in manufacturing, investing in fighting climate change, expanding healthcare access for veterans, things like that. That was all her policy. And I won't mention Donald Trump. I'll just keep it there.
She didn't have any votes from the primary.
Yeah, because that's the way that the party.
Primary election, Kamala would not.
There's no way.
No, she would have 100% won. If there was a primary in the traditional sense, she would have been the Democratic nominee. Absolutely. 100%. When Kamala Harris became the Democratic nominee, she had like 85+% support in the Democratic Party for that position. So that's number one. But also number two, that's the way the party rules work. If, for example, the Democratic Party in 2028 picks you, Martin, your name, to be the Democratic nominee. Marty. It picks you, Marty, to be the Democratic nominee for president. You'd probably say, I don't want that. Even though, like, let's just say 14 million people voted for you. You'd probably be like, well, I don't want to be the Democratic nominee for president. I don't want to run for president. So in that case, then the delegates of the party get to select a new nominee. They pledge their votes to somebody. And that's what they did with Kamala Harris. If the same thing happened in the Republican Party and Donald Trump dropped out, the delegates would do the same thing. It's party rules.
You should run for president, Harry.
Maybe I will.
You know what, Loki, I'd might vote.
Yeah, Harry, you might have my vote.
You're a smart guy.
Loki.
I appreciate that, but I can't. Whatever, man. I'll just leave. I'll take the vote. I'll take the vote.
Finish the sentence. Finish the sentence.
Come on.
No. It's good, man. It's good. It's good.
Take it back.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good. It's good.
You know the crazy thing? We're gonna finish the debate. I think we would be good friends with Harry.
I think we would.
I think we would be good friends, Harry.
Dude. Wait. What football team you support?
Oh God, he's gonna get mad. The Patriots.
Oh yeah, no. Fuck out of here, no.
Bro, we live in Mass, bro.
Yeah.
No, I can't be friends. Eli Manning is Tom Brady's
Harry,
father,
who do
by
you
the way.
like?
I don't
Harry, who do you
know if
like,
you know
bro?
that. Eli Manning is Tom Brady's father.
Oh my God! Oh my God! No way!
Oh my God.
Are you taking objection to that?
Yes.
No ball knowledge.
Just remind me, what happened the last two times the Patriots and the Giants met in the Super Bowl when Tom Brady and Eli Manning were playing?
Oh, wow, dude. That really makes him the best.
No, I'm just saying that Eli Manning is Tom Brady's father. When they've matched up
How many rings does Tom Brady have?
Eli Manning does not deserve to be.
Don't care. I don't care how many. Yes, he has a bunch of rings. Yes, absolutely. But Eli Manning, Giants came into the playoffs 8-8. The Patriots came into the playoffs undefeated. You know what happened? Eli Manning made it all the way to the Super Bowl and beat Tom Brady. Eli Manning is Tom Brady's father.
Harry, you don't want to get us going. You don't want to get us going.
Fine. I'm just saying that Tom Brady.
To our conversation.
Okay.
What NBA team do you support?
I'm gonna say the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you live in New York. Oh my God. Oh my God.
What, Celtics?
Are you gonna talk shit about the Celtics now?
Yo, we watched the
No.
home opener. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched the Celtics.
Celtics are gross.
The Knicks.
Gross.
Wait, you like the Celtics?
Of course I do.
Who doesn't like the Celtics?
I said they're gross.
Okay. All right.
Wait, what do you don't?
Do I not like the Celtics?
Yeah.
No, I don't like the
It's
Celtics.
the dynasty. It's the dynasty.
Yeah, it's the dynasty.
Joe Mazzulla's a good. Yo, have you seen Joe Mazzulla's press conferences?
those are funny.
Those are so funny. Don't even lie. Those are hilarious.
I won't comment on the matter.
City. What do you think of the City Edition jerseys? I like they say Celtics on them.
No, it's like, did you meet the whole? No, it was the
Yeah, Ohio's about to score right now.
Mary Joseph.
Hey, do you have anything else to say about Donald Trump, man?
Meet the royal family.
Do you have anything else to say about Donald Trump?
Yeah. All right. What were we saying?
I don't know.
We were talking about. Wait, dude. Oh yeah, she didn't have any votes in the primary, and then you said she would have won the vote. Yeah. And then Zach said that she would not have been voted in, and then we were saying how
she won.
She was worse than Biden, and that Trump is way better than Kamala.
Yeah, that's not. I just disagree with everything you just said. But I mean, we can just leave it there.
Why? Why do you disagree?
Well, I just explained for a multitude of reasons why I disagree.
Why do you? Whoa! Why are you putting your hand there? Like that's what they do when you're about to kick someone.
No, I was adjusting the phone, but I might kick you because I feel like we've exhausted the topic between.
No, bro, don't kick us. We're having a good conversation. Yeah. At least let us finish the conversation before we leave.
All right, let me do one more thing with you. The E. Jean Carroll conversation.
Oh my god! Someone just said, "Is that like your Zachary?" And then your last name in the chat. What the heck? Yo.
Yeah, all right. You guys gotta go. Have a good one. Yeah, get the hell out of here, bro. That's fucking nut. Ohio just scored. Maddie, thanks for the $5. Maddie, I appreciate you. Shout out Maddie. Thank you for everything you do. You're amazing, and keep fighting the mis and disinformation out there. Also, since you're a big football fan, fun fact, I now have 2 guys I went to high school with playing in the NFL. One of the Giants and one of the Buccaneers. That's crazy. That's pretty cool. I like that. Jennifer, thanks for the $15. Why is every night a disaster? When will it end? Jafer and Jason, go Birds. Rooting for you in the playoffs. I talked about this last night. Anyway, Jeremy, thanks for the $1. Do these blanks not know Trump is 4 years younger than... Or sorry, that Trump is... No. I read it correctly. Not know that Trump is 4 years younger than Trump. I think you meant to say Biden. Also, pro tip, when you're arguing about January 6th, I think it'd be great to bring up the 4 police officers that took their own lives because of what MAGA did. That says a lot. Absolutely, man. I totally agree. Russell, my man, thank you for the gift on Venmo. It has a nice little animation. Look at that. Nice little animation. Animation. Thanks for the $2, man. Hey, Harry, I'm glad to spend Friday night with you on live. I saw the older pinned Newsmax video on your Instagram yesterday and died of laughter. That was epic. Yeah, there's a video on my Instagram of me debating. Well, not debating, but like this Newsmax reporter came up to me. Was not nice to them. Allie, thanks for the $1. So I may or may not have switched to Team Harry, but that's on the down low. Harry Moggs is Allie approved. Where's Layla and Kay? Are they here? I don't know if they're here. They might be in Dean's live. But y'all hear that? Yeah, I don't even know if Dean's live right now. But y'all hear that? Haley as well. Lillianne, thanks for the $3. Do you do weddings as the groom? That's no. I'm only 22. I don't think I can do that yet. Sophia, thanks for the $1. Say hi to Renee. What's going on, Renee? I appreciate you. I have a good friend over here in Sophia. She's fantastic. I endorse. Kate, thanks for the $1. Who you got, Texas or Ohio State? I think Ohio's probably going to win the game. I just saw them put together a really nice drive. Slow and methodical. Dewberry, thanks for the $1. Death row meal. Oh my God. I get like a bunch of things. I get like cuisines from across the world. I get like, I don't even know. I'd have to think about that. Madison, thanks for the $1. Thank you for helping to make the world a better place. Madison, I think you make the world a better place. I think it's you more than I. Woody, thanks for the $1 as well. Seahawks were 34 to 33 under Biden, 44 to 22 under Trump. Well, of course, there's a connection there. And Raven, oh my God, Raven, $250 on the Cash App. I appreciate you so much, Raven. Please put some W's for Raven in the chat. That is so incredibly kind. W, Raven in the chat. Fill the chat with W's for Raven. I appreciate you so much. It's good to see you again. Thank you for coming back into the live. And you've been so generous to everybody. And with the fundraiser we did the other night. So thank you, W. Raven, charity, donating to all of us, man. It means an incredible amount. Thank you so much for being here. Goes such a long way. You're amazing. I love you. You're fantastic. And I hope all of your hopes and dreams come true. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you so much. W. Raven. Oh, look at this person. Wait, they're back. Get this person back up here. W. Raven. Hold on, Quinn Ewers. Oh my God, what a throw! Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I lost connection earlier.
Hold on one second. Just be quiet. One second. Jacqueline, thanks for the $1. Do you think there's a possibility they might delay their decision? Yeah, I think that would be like a stay if they stay the decision and wait until the summer to issue, or maybe let the Oh, there's a flag, dude. Ace, thanks for the $1. Hi, Harry. I just want to say I appreciate your thoughtful commentary and the energy you bring to the discussion. Your content sparks important conversations and inspiring to see someone passionate about these issues. Keep up the great work. Best regards, Ace. W. Ace. Appreciate you, Ace. Thank you so much. Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, link in the bio if you want to support the live. Oh, look at this person here. MAGA Girl for Life. I want to talk to that person. I'm going to invite them. They won't come up because, look at them in the chat. They're spamming. All right. What were you saying?
Oh, okay, so yeah, sorry about that before I was rudely disconnected by my girlfriend. Anywho, so first of all, you don't know a lick of thing about firearms. Have you ever shot one before?
Yes.
What kind?
It was just a handgun. I don't remember the system.
Okay. Do you know specifics on AR-15s? Do you know?
Never shot an AR-15. Never owned one. Couldn't tell you super specific things about it.
Okay, so why should they be banned then? Why should the most commonly owned rifle in America be banned?
Because it's been used in some of the worst mass shootings in American history.
That's irrelevant.
What was that?
That's irrelevant.
No, I don't think it's irrelevant at all. If we see a pattern and it's very present, it's very clear, and that happens to be the weapon of choice for some of the worst shootings in American history, I don't think it's unreasonable for us to say, hey, let's go after that. Also, by the way, I just want to be clear that my position is not just, hey, if we get rid of the AR-15 and ban its sale in the United States, it's going to be great and everything's going to be perfect. No, we have to get rid of weapons like it. And also my gun control view is not just, hey, let's ban this weapon and it'll still be solved.
All right. So have you ever read the Supreme Court decision, Caetano versus the state of Massachusetts?
I haven't read that decision in full. No.
Okay. So the summary.
Have you read DCV Heller?
DCV Heller, yes. That handguns cannot be banned. NYSERPA versus Bruin is one of the ones that
not
have
proposing
been
a handgun ban, by the way.
Well, yeah, that struck down a handgun ban because they said that handguns were the most commonly owned weapon for self-defense purposes, and therefore they can't be banned. And Caetano versus Massachusetts, the Supreme Court specifically said that weapons that are in common use for lawful purposes cannot be banned. In the
and what did DCV Heller say? What did specifically Scalia say?
Scalia, I would have to go back and reread it, but
Scalia said that gun control is constitutional, and if the government can prove a public interest, like a public health interest, then they're welcome to do it. Also, you can tell that gun control is
that was dicta. That was SCOTUS dicta. Which
so
it has no
even
legal
you can
binding.
tell that you can see that gun control is constitutional because even in some jurisdictions throughout the United States, like Chicago or New York City, these local cities, they have very, very, very strict gun control.
Because of NYSERPA versus Bruin. Because if you've read NYSERPA versus Bruin, it struck down the Sullivan Act and it established, or I should say, reaffirmed the Heller question of freaking. Hang on, I gotta catch my breath for a second. So it's the question of does the law in question implicate the Second Amendment? If the answer is yes, then the burden of proof shifts to the government to come up with with historical analog laws dating back to 1791, the time of the founding. And if there is no historical analog laws on the books at the time of the founding, 1791, it's unconstitutional, period, end of story.
No, that's what? That's absolutely not. That's absolutely not what the Supreme Court. That's absolutely not what the Supreme Court has ruled.
Bruin, read it.
No, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. Think about that. There are gun control laws all across the country. Those gun control laws are vastly different than the gun control laws we had in the 1700s or the 1800s or the 1900s. So obviously, it's not the rule of the law of the land that if we have stricter gun control that is different than that of gun control in the 1700s, then it's automatically unconstitutional.
Have you ever heard of a puckle gun?
No.
Okay, a puckle gun is a rapid-fire, semi-automatic turret that was invented in the 1730s. And then there's the Grenadier air rifle, which was invented around the time, or post-founding, around the late 1700s, early 1800s. And get this, they were equipped for the Lewis and Clark expedition, and they could fire up to 30 rounds a minute. which for the time that's impressive. And then there's the pepper box revolver, which was invented in the 1780s. All these, like, honestly,
so like I don't dispute that we had firearms back then.
Oh no,
that
what
were
I'm
like
saying
powerful
is,
for its
to say
time.
that our
But it also doesn't. Wait. Just to be clear, it's like that doesn't dispute the fact that just because there wasn't a law in the books similar to that of gun control that we're proposing today doesn't mean that a gun control law passed by a jurisdiction, that's another pass interference. It has to be. Doesn't mean that gun control that's on the books in different jurisdictions throughout the United States is automatically unconstitutional.
Okay, so the whole problem was
like for example, do you think that mandatory mental health checks for gun controls or for buying a firearm is unconstitutional?
Yes.
Why is that unconstitutional?
Because it is a violation of not only the Second Amendment, but it's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. And
how is it a violation of the Second and Fourth Amendment?
Okay, do you even know what the Fourth Amendment is, my dude?
Yes. How is it a violation of the Second and Fourth Amendment?
Okay, the Second Amendment says shall not be infringed, number one. Number two, the Fourth Amendment
well-regulated militia.
No unreasonable searches and seizures.
Well-regulated militia, by the way.
Yeah.
I can't believe what I've just seen.
Okay, do you know what a fucking comma is? Pardon my French, but
yes, I'm aware of what a comma is.
Well-regulated militia.
Wait, hold on. Scalia, I just cited D.C.V. Heller and Scalia's dissenting or his decision in that case. He wasn't dissenting, where he said that gun control is constitutional. The Second Amendment is not absolute. So the conservative Antonin Scalia recognized that the Second Amendment is not absolute to the point where gun control is constitutional. And the Supreme Court has never held that gun control that the Second Amendment is absolute. So for you to say that it's unconstitutional because there's a comma after it's insane. It's insane. Anyway, continue.
Okay, what I was going to say is it says a well-regulated militia, comma, being necessary to the security of a free state, comma, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, because there's a thing called a dependent clause and an independent clause. Like, you know the difference between the two, right? Grammatically.
This is such a terrible argument. Also, I always laugh when I hear arguments like this because first of all, you're going against what the Supreme Court has ruled previously. You're just making like a wild, outlandish arguments to the point of like the Second Amendment being absolute where like you have any gun control regulation, it's unconstitutional. That's kind of the area that you're running into.
Okay,
but the fact of the matter is, put that aside for a second. You look at the United States being having the number one most mass shootings in the world compared to other economically comparable countries. They have strong gun control. It's working over there. They're not losing as many lives as a result of firearms.
It's because
so why
culture.
Is that not top of mind for you?
It's because it's culture.
What?
I'm saying, okay,
elaborate on that.
I'm talking Japan, for example. Japan, I'm just going to freaking use Japan as an example because they are a ethnically homogenous and culturally homogenous country. And they have a culture of honor and humility and freaking... Like, I have yet to find a mass shooting
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about friggin'...
But wait, hold on. First of all, watch yourself. Watch where you're going with this argument. Watch yourself. There are also other countries and cultures that are not homogenous in the way that Japan is, where they've done the exact same thing, and they don't have mass shootings now after implementing gun regulation. Australia comes to mind. Great Britain comes to mind.
Okay, so one other country that I would like to use as an example is Switzerland.
Great. Oh, yeah, let's use Switzerland, please. Let's do it.
Okay, Switzerland. Believe it or not, you can actually own a machine gun.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're very lax. They're very lax on that part. But tell me, can somebody in Switzerland walk around on the street with their firearm?
Yes.
Nope.
No, they can.
No, they cannot.
Yes, they can.
No, they cannot. The only places that a firearm can be taken in Switzerland or kept is in your home or at a fire range to fire. And you know what else they have in Switzerland? Mandatory mental health checks, expanded background checks. You have to have permits to get firearms, and most firearms are in the hands of people who are former military.
Yeah.
So Switzerland is an example.
Culture.
Switzerland is an example of a country where there's high rates of firearm ownership. Right, I think it's per capita per 100,000. It is the highest rate of ownership in the EU. However, they have really strong gun regulation. So if your argument is, hey, let's have a bunch of firearms, we want an armed people for X, Y, and Z because your silly constitutional arguments which make no sense or whatever, then great. But let's have strong gun control to combat that. Shout out everybody coming from Dean's Live. And Switzerland, the country that you brought up as an example, is a perfect example of my argument.
I want to ask you this. Where is most of the gun violence happening in the United States?
Most mass shooting. Well, are you saying gun violence generally or mass shootings?
Gun violence in general.
Yeah, most gun violence is taking place with handguns, not assault rifles.
No, not,
I should say
not the weapon.
I know. I'm giving context.
Okay, so I'm talking like murders, robberies, so those kinds of crimes, like crimes committed with firearms.
Well, in terms of like per capita, some of these Republican cities. Yeah, some of these Republican cities in the South have some of the highest. By the way, Dean's coming up. Shout out Dean, everybody. Some of these Republican cities in the South have the highest per capita rates of like gun violence, for example.
Oh, really? Friggin'. So we're gonna completely.
Did you know the less gun
LA,
control?
Detroit, Chicago.
Did you know the less gun control a state has, the more gun deaths per 100,000 residents they have?
That sounds
true.
Odd.
It sounds true.
Just go to Google, type in every town gun research, and you will be brought to a website.
Why would I trust every town for gun safety?
So every town has their data listed, and you could go through their methodology, and you could see how what they are telling you is true.
Okay, so
all the sources are cited.
And these are the same people that use 18, 19, and 20-year-olds to include the category of children in one of their studies for number one cause of death.
And what study was that? What study was that?
It was the number one cause of death of children in the United
That study
States.
didn't come from every town, by the way.
Well, whatever. Like, I'm talking, like, just in general.
No, you have to be very specific. You're making a specific claim. But no, you should look at every town. I also think that I'm not 100% sure, so don't take my word for this, but I'm pretty sure Harvard put out a similar study talking about how in states with less gun control, there are more gun deaths and shootings generally.
Yeah, per 100,000 residents.
Per 100,000.
I actually came up here to debate you, Harry.
Okay, well. Well, Dean, if you're gonna debate Harry, I actually. Holy crap!
I don't want to just interject myself. I'll happily stay on mute until he's done.
Well, no, it's like 11 o'clock, and I'm completely fried. Long day of door dashing and all that stuff.
Big fan.
All right, well, if you want to drop down, that's no problem.
So, yeah.
Okay, if you want to drop down, that's fine. You want to go?
Yep. Godspeed, and have a good day.
Yeah, have a good one. Bye. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link in bio. What do you want to debate, Dean?
Yeah, so I've heard that you're pretty confident that TikTok's getting banned. I actually hold the opposite position. I'm pretty confident that it won't.
Okay, why do you think that it won't?
After listening to the oral arguments today in the Supreme Court, it seemed as if the justices were predispositioned against the TikTok ban due to the incredibly high level of scrutiny they put the U.S. lawyer under. Second, the TikTok lawyer had an incredibly good argument with the fact that if you are going to restrict speech, it has to be the least restrictive means available. And he brought up how if you want to stop possible data exploitation by China and ByteDance with U.S. consumer data, you could simply implement legislation to prevent the exchange of U.S. consumer data with the ByteDance headquarters in China, which seemingly is a good argument that holds its ground. And then the third point, 4 of those justices voted that Donald Trump shouldn't be sentenced for his felonies. And I don't know of one singular legally sound argument why a convicted felon shouldn't be sentenced. And I think the only reason they voted against it was because he told them to vote against it. And now that we have this TikTok ban with incredibly legally sound arguments to reject its constitution, if it's constitutional or not, alongside the fact that he's told them not to ban it, that we could see a 5-4 decision. Against
5-4 being who? Who is the 5?
5-4 voting against the ban.
Yeah, but who's the 5?
Oh, I don't know the names of the justices.
Okay.
I'd probably say the 4 that voted against the sentencing plus Amy.
Plus, okay. Yeah, no, I I don't agree, because the Supreme Court would only have to apply strict scrutiny, which is the highest burden of proof for the government to have, if they feel like the law at hand is impeding on a constitutional right, a fundamental right. Ketanji Brown Jackson, for example, was making it clear that she didn't feel that there was a First Amendment violation. Samuel Alito also said that this is not a ban on TikTok and not a violation of their speech. It's just saying, hey, once they divest, then that problem goes away. So, and Gorsuch might dissent. Gorsuch might be the one, but even Kagan, Sotomayor were very skeptical of TikTok's arguments that there was a First Amendment violation to begin with. So I don't even think that strict scrutiny will even be applied here, from my perception.
So would they have to unanimously agree that there was a First Amendment violation in order for the argument that the least restrictive means must be upheld through an exploration of legislation to prevent the transfer of data from U.S. consumers to ByteDance in China?
Wait, are you asking?
Yeah.
I actually don't know if they. I think it would be the majority would have to agree to apply strict scrutiny. But I think maybe if Law's here, maybe he can talk about that. But it's just from my perception, like listening to these justices say, like, yeah, I don't really know if there's a First Amendment violation, especially someone like Ketanji Brown Jackson. That's concerning to me. And by the way, like, I don't want TikTok to be banned. I'm not arguing this because I think because I want it to be. I'm arguing this because I didn't hear anything from these justices today that made me. Oh my God, he just got picked off. I didn't hear anything from these justices today that made me think, oh, they're actually going to go in the direction of TikTok. They were especially skeptical of the person arguing in favor of ByteDance. I think they seemed a little bit more sensitive to the person arguing on behalf of creators and their speech, but certainly not on behalf of TikTok. What also struck me was, like, I think these justices are just so behind on like technology and stuff like that, because some of them are making the argument that, oh, why don't they just go to a different platform like Alito was again? Anyway.
Well, yeah, I found the TikTok lawyer's argument that it shouldn't be banned because it's a violation of the first constitutional amendment right to free speech to be like a bad one. I thought that there was interpretations on that that was given, such as the idea that, well, like, the only reason why this isn't protected speech is because, this is an entity operating outside of America. And if you want to value and observe protected speech, they have to divest to an American-owned company, then that would be applied. I think that argument could hold legal ground. The argument that I think ultimately kind of finishes and defeats all of that is because, regardless of that fact, you still have to take the less restrictive means if you want to restrict speech at all. So even if you can constitutionally restrict speech, such as screaming bomb in a movie theater when, there's like a shooter or something, or in this case, telling ByteDance to divest or get banned, you have to do it in the least restrictive manner available. And something that the TikTok lawyer had brought up is that in the past, this has been done through the implementation of policy to just literally prevent the transfer or exchange of that information between countries. Like, he had brought up a specific occurrence of the NSA doing exactly this, as well as what I believe the real zinger is here, is he brought up the fact that Congress hasn't even considered this. So the idea of the implementation of policy to merely prevent the transfer of U.S. data to China has not been considered by Congress, is something ByteDance is willing to do, and would be less restrictive than the ban.
Yeah, but these, specifically from the argument for ByteDance, a company in China doesn't have a right to the First Amendment. So even if they're like, yeah, there's strict scrutiny here, and we have to look at it as a violation of the First Amendment, and like the Supreme Court is even is enticed by that argument, ByteDance has no constitutional rights in the United States.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe like Law, if Law's available, he could correct me if I'm wrong.
Let's see.
But this is for like speech that isn't constitutionally protected. Even if you want to restrict speech that isn't constitutionally protected for various reasons, such as ByteDance being located outside of the U.S., or like under like excruciatingly like special circumstances, like screaming bomb in a movie theater, etc. You still have to take the least restrictive means possible to prevent it.
But that would only be for somebody that's actually has a claim. So like ByteDance has no claim to the First Amendment. So if ByteDance was an American company, then they would have a claim to the First Amendment if they apply strict scrutiny, but a foreign company doesn't. So that's another problem I see, is that just doesn't, there's no rights there. There's no rights for ByteDance to claim that. And I don't even think that there's a right for like creators, who the other guy was arguing on behalf of, have a right to claim it. And I think that like people like Alito really concerned me. And then when you have people like Gorsuch kind of agreeing that, hey, forcing a divestiture doesn't mean that it's being banned. It doesn't mean that your speech is being silenced. It's just asking a foreign company to divest, a company that doesn't have rights here in the United States. That is why I think that this court is not going to be in favor. And also, some of these judges have been very, very pro national security over free speech in the past.
Yeah. Well, I'm operating under the assumption that even if speech isn't protected, you still have to take the least restrictive means. But if like you have to have a claim through the First Amendment in order for the least restrictive means to even apply, then like I'd be wrong on that point. But like I guess the way that I'm looking at it is like screaming bomb in a movie theater isn't protected under the First Amendment. But in order to constitutionally prevent someone from screaming bomb in a movie theater, you still have to take the least restrictive means necessary. And I think what the argument is of this guy is, even though ByteDance isn't protected under the First Amendment, we can't just like the law of the land can't just hop in there and take anything but the least restrictive means necessary to stop their concerns.
Yeah, but I still don't think that strict scrutiny is going to be applied.
What's strict scrutiny?
It's like I
don't even know what it is.
Oh no, it's weird in this context, but it's like the highest burden of proof that the government has. So you're right on it though, that if strict scrutiny is applied, and they find that there's a violation, the way to remedy that has to be the least restrictive means possible if strict scrutiny is applied. But I don't think that strict scrutiny is going to be applied here. I think that the United States has some discretion when it comes to national security, and if the justices seem compelled, if they can prove there's a valid interest in that security over what TikTok is proposing, then the justices seem swayed, and they were in favor of that, or at least they sound in favor of that.
Do you know what their argument, like the four justices' argument was for insofar as why Trump shouldn't have been sentenced?
No, they didn't. There wasn't oral arguments, and the decision was just a page. They outlined what the majority said, saying that it wouldn't be a burden on Donald Trump's constitutional duties, but at the bottom it was just one sentence saying that Kavanaugh, Thomas, Alito dissented, and who am I forgetting? Thomas, Alito. I think it was Gorsuch. Yeah, it was Gorsuch that dissented as well. So, but they didn't give us a justification. But I also think that I think the Supreme Court's so corrupt that like your argument at the end that like they would just rule in favor of Donald Trump because he has them to is like not terrible.
That's like yeah. So I guess like the reason why I think there's maybe some hope is because an argument can be made. Now, one might argue that a better counter argument could be made, insofar as like why a ban should be like compelled on TikTok or sell whatever. A better counter argument would exist for that than the argument that it shouldn't be banned because of the least restrictive means, as comprised under strict scrutiny. But no argument can be made for why a felon can't be sentenced.
Yeah.
And four people still, decided to vote for that. So, I mean, I think because not banning TikTok has the same stamp of approval from Trump that not sentencing Trump has. And it's more likely for there to be a sound legal argument made against the TikTok ban compared to the non-sentencing of Trump, that we could see, them follow through with that. Something else that I think could be likely is them choosing not to reject the ban, but just to place a stay on it until Trump is in office.
Yeah. So I also agree that I don't think that they're going to overturn the ban. I think that's like a 0% chance, but I do think it's decently likely that they grant a stay and they won't rule on the case, or they won't rule on the case and allow the Trump administration to try to negotiate the deal as Trump asked, and keep the decision from coming out until the summer, kind of June, July-ish, when the Supreme Court normally decides that stuff. I think that's decently likely. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility.
Yo, thank you so much for the money on, and Connor, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo as well. Yeah. Anyways, that's all I wanted to debate you on.
Does Parker think that? What does Parker think? Have you talked to him about it?
I don't know if Parker's looked into it all too much, because I know he didn't listen to the oral arguments and he hopped on live all day. He did text me about it earlier, saying that like Aaron Parnas or whatever said that the ban was likely. I know that's also what CNN was saying. Maybe I'm just like not up to date with. I'm not sufficiently educated on like legalese, what strict scrutiny is.
This is a complex case. Like the arguments they were like. I was trying to listen to the Solicitor General and the TikTok and the creator representative speak, and I was like, they were bringing up things that I'd never heard of in my entire life. I'm like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about right now. So I'm somewhat there with you on that. It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I hope it doesn't get banned. We just like, I'll be fucked, dude. I'll be so fucked if TikTok gets banned. It's gonna.
Oh yeah, we're cooked, dude. We're cooked. We're so cooked. Like, oh god. I mean, you're going to YouTube, I suppose, right, or Twitch or something like that.
YouTube. Yeah. And I mean, like, and additionally, it'll eventually work out. So for all like, the annoying Republicans that are like, ha, you're gonna lose your job. You're never gonna have anything to do ever again. Like, like hope we're gonna be just fine. It's just gonna take a while. Yeah,
it'll be definitely be a transition process. But I think people will like move over and stuff like that. And I don't think there's gonna be a sale. I also do think it's kind of interesting. Like, hopefully, I'm not saying anything bad here, but I do think it's interesting how like TikTok is worth $100 billion and they have the opportunity to sell it and make that 100 billion, and they're not doing that. They're choosing like every other option aside from that, and it's like, well, okay, that's I don't know.
Yeah, that is pretty fucking crazy. Like, I wish that it was a public company so they had like a fiduciary duty, but no, it's just like a bunch of like private rich fucks that are like, for whatever reason, in this unanimous agreement that they don't want to sell it. Dude, like, just I wish that all of these rich fucks would just sell it, have enough money to coast for the rest of their life, and make everybody in America happy.
Yeah, and also the Solicitor General for the government brought up an interesting point, how there are documented cases of TikTok using the data of American journalists to find out who was leaking things to them from inside the company. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. There's a couple things that they brought up. I don't know. I wish that they would be more transparent about these like imminent security risks, because I've talked to like a couple people like will work in like various states, like governor's office, people on like Capitol Hill, etc. And they're all like, oh my God, there's such pressing security concerns of TikTok that I can't tell you because it is classified, and you should delete the app immediately. Like, I wish they'd just be more transparent about that. I mean, I was hoping that more of that would kind of come up in the oral argumentation today, but.
They introduce evidence under seal, and I think that's just my same concern, where people have asked me about this and like, well, Joe Biden has said it's a security concern, Democrats and Republicans have said it. I'm like, yeah, like I have no doubt that they're being honest when they say that, but I would just like to see the evidence for myself. Like, we have not seen any evidence from the government, and I think that even the government somewhat conceded today and like in arguments in the past that they have no evidence that China has utilized TikTok or manipulated the algorithm in a way to push their ideals or like suppress things that are not favorable to them. Like, we just don't have evidence of that right now. So I don't know. It's like I keep going back and forth. It's weird.
Yeah. I actually wanted to ask another thing. If you just want to get onto your debates, just so I know, and I'll get out.
No, go for it. Yeah, I don't mind.
Did you listen to Zuckerberg on Rogan's podcast say that he had people from the Biden admin calling him, like screaming and cussing at him to like ban misinformation about the vaccine?
I didn't listen to the podcast, but I saw that clip, and it's just like, it's so crazy to see the rightward swing,
Yeah, no, dude, Mark's like going all in. I mean, he I guess he like took tampons out of the men's bathrooms and like stopped his DEI practices, etc. Crazy rightward swing. But what do you like specifically think about members of like the Biden admin doing that?
Well, I'd have to listen to what he specifically said, and also like if that's even happened and if that's even true. Like, I wouldn't put it past him to kind of exaggerate a situation where the Biden administration was saying like, hey, this specific post or this specific lie is getting a lot of traction, we'd be like, it'd be nice if you took it down and make our jobs easier. I think like to satisfy Trump, as he seems to be doing, it wouldn't surprise me if he exaggerated it. But I also don't really have a problem with like people in the Biden administration reaching out and saying something like, hey, like this is causing a lot of harm. Like, it'd be nice if you took it down. If they were pressuring him to take it down and saying like, yeah, you have to do this or there'll be consequences, and that's a different story.
Yeah, that's kind of like my thoughts as well. It's like maybe like you could like disagree with the practices and say like maybe some community note type service is going to be better than just taking it down for reason X, Y, and Z. But like I don't think it is some like commensurable threat unless the government is pushing for legislation to force them to do it. Not just like a recommendation. But then additionally, kind of like my thoughts are, under what obligation do I have to believe Mark Zuckerberg's word of mouth with no evidence when Trump supporters have been denying E. Jean Carroll's not just word of mouth but claims proven in court with enough evidence to get 9 jurors to rule that it occurred. So anyways, Sarah, I appreciate your time. I don't want to hold up your live. I just
yeah, man. Well, if you want to debate, you can. But if you want to, I know you probably were debating earlier. You're welcome to do whatever you'd like.
Yeah, I'll hang out for a debate. Yeah, fuck sure.
All right, if you're MAGA in the chat and want to come up and talk, you're welcome to do that. I think this guy was spam. I've talked to this guy before, but he was spamming MAGA in the chat. Yo, Sky, thanks for the $3. I appreciate. Yo, Edward, are you here, my man? Thanks for the $3. Have you read House Resolution 7? No, people keep telling me to read it. I haven't read it yet, but I will. I definitely will. Edward's not here. Oh, here he is. Edward, are you there, man?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. So why did you vote for Donald Trump, buddy? Have you come around yet?
Yeah, no, I did vote for him, but I wanted to tell you something really quick.
Julia, thanks for the $25 as well. Enjoying the TikTok debate, but what do we do?
Your moderator actually kicked me out a few times, and I'm so glad you actually picked me. Thank you.
Yeah, you got it, man. So what can we do for you, MAGA?
First of all, so now that Donald Trump made president, what do you think is going to be different in the next 4 years, and what do you think the outcome will be, and what do you predict is going to happen? Because obviously you never wanted him to make it in the first place.
Everything's going to get worse. Every major topic we talked about in the lead up to the 2024 election, inflation, manufacturing, reproductive rights, it's all going to get worse.
Okay, so my next question would be if the Democrats actually took it back in 2028, do you think they could make it better?
Yes.
That's kind of, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay,
yes.
So that's my only question, and I mainly wanted to say that I've watched you for a long time now. I don't want to see TikTok go away, and TikTok's like everything I got, man. Besides buying my house and my dream cars and all that, TikTok's all I got, and I never want to lose TikTok, but it sounds like it's going away. And I just wanted to say that I know you're a Democrat and I'm a Republican, but I want us to all get along in the end, and we're all on the same team, is what I'm saying. We even there's a video of President Trump and Obama.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you agree with overturning Roe v. Wade?
Say that again.
Do you agree with overturning Roe v. Wade?
I'm not sure. I'm not understanding you. No.
Abortion from the federal level to the state level, is that a good idea?
Well, I don't really want to give my opinion on that. I just wanted to say that, we are on the same team and everything. We obviously have different beliefs. I
appreciate you, but if you look at 60 great victims per day being denied access to abortion in 10 over 50 states because of that decision, and you're like, oh, I support that. We're not on the same team.
Well, I do take Democrats' side on that, actually. That's one thing that I don't like about the Republicans, what they're doing. But, it's complicated, but I was a Democrat my whole life. And only voted for Trump. You know, I became a Republican in 2015, so I've been a Republican for 9 years now, and way before Trump became president. And even if he's wrong, and I know 5,000 people are watching this and listening to this, even if Trump's wrong, we're stuck with him, and he's our president. He won.
But wait. I just want to it's just kind of crazy to me how. Your whole position is I want us all to be united. And I totally agree with that. Having the American people be together and united is great. But then why would you vote for Donald Trump? Trump is the most divisive figure in American politics right now. He has said everything under the sun about his Democratic opponents. He's come up with names for Joe Biden, names for Kamala Harris, names for Obama. He said Obama wasn't born in the United States. He insulted Biden's entire family. He said that Kamala Harris is half black. I mean, this is all incredibly divisive stuff that's very offensive for a lot of people. So it's I don't understand how you could say, hey, I want to be united, but then turn around and say, I'm also going to vote for Donald Trump.
Right. And you know what? It's not just that. The whole thing in a nutshell is I don't care if there's a Democrat or a Republican in charge. I'm just worried about all the fentanyl coming over the border and all the illegals coming through.
Oh, no. You got to go. Sorry, man. You said the F drug. You got to go.
Fuck, dude.
Sorry, man.
Gotta stray.
Can't do that. Anyway, if you're MAGA, let us know in the chat. We'll bring you up.
Wait, you should let up Stop the Hypocrisy. He said $20,000. Harry doesn't let you up.
Okay.
Make 20 bands real quick.
Let's split it up 10 and 10. So,
dude, easy.
Dean's Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and link in his bio. So yeah, our my Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, and the link in the bio. Dean's is also in the link in his bio. You can do 10 and 10. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Woody, thanks for the $1, man. Isaiah, I saw that, by the way. I'm blocking them. Isaiah, thanks for the $1, specifically the second, fourth down for return. That was tough. It was tough, man.
Are we gonna do 10 to each? Stop the hypocrisy.
We can hear the sound in the background. We know you're there, right? Just gonna be quiet now. I'll give you 10 seconds to speak and then I'll kick you. Tasha, thanks for the $5. You're amazing. Oh, I love you. You're fantastic. Tatiana, thanks for the 1. I appreciate you always. All right, buddy, get the hell out of here, would you? Thanks, man. I guess we're not getting our 20 grand, Dean.
I know. I'm really sad, man.
I'm pissed. All right, if you're MAGA, let us know in the chat. We'll bring you up and we can talk. You can tell us why you're MAGA, why you voted for Donald Trump. Very peculiar, very strange. Why anybody would do that. Maximum Gains.
Maximum Gains by Marcus. What a name.
Yeah, what a name. Jennifer, thanks for the $5. Watch for years. I adore you. I adore you too, Jennifer. Parker, thanks for the $2.
Hey, Maximum Gains, I got a question. You work in finance? You financial advisor, perchance?
Are you not there either, buddy?
Dude, we can hear him typing. What the hell?
So you're just not going to speak?
What's going on with these people, man?
What's going on, man? I thought you were typing in the chat that you wanted to be here. Oh, you're muted now. Hello? Maybe I'll drop you down. Maybe you want to come back up in a second. We can get you up. All right, Michael's Aviation. Let's see what this Kara, yeah, I just got sorry, I'm behind on the Venmos. I apologize. Emma, thanks for the $3. One of my AirPods fell out of my ear. I'm so sorry. Killer, thanks for the $3 as well. I'll support wherever you end up doing lives. Thank you, Killer. Kira, thanks for the $2 as well. I think they may apply intermediate scrutiny. That's the only way I think they will save it. Either way, Kevin O'Leary said on X he's buying it. Yeah, I don't think they're going to sell it though. Nick, thanks for the $1 as well. Who do you want in the draft? I don't know. Shador for the Giants. What's going on, man?
Sup. So.
Yeah, dude. I think you have to be above the age of 18 to be on TikTok Live.
Dude, get an actual zygote on live.
Actual fetus, man. All right, if you're MAGA, let us know in the chat. Let's bring up this guy. Fancy ass profile picture. I don't think he's here. Poor guy. He just wanted to come up and debate. Let's bring up Joe. This guy's not here. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's up? How you guys doing?
Good. You vote for Donald Trump?
I did.
What a disaster. Brenna, thanks for the $2 as well. And Gabby, thanks for the $1. Oh God, Gabby, I'm sorry to hear that. And Abby, thanks for the 1. Nick, thanks for the 1. Sabrina, thanks for the 2. And I will definitely answer that question. But anyway, Joe, come on, man, talk to me. Why'd you vote for Donald Trump?
Mostly just economy. I've talked to Dean once before on his stuff, but mainly it's just for economic and foreign policy. You know, as far as social issues, I'm a libertarian, truthfully, but obviously they can't win. So, and I value economic policy and foreign policy more than. I think overall social issues will pretty much they'll be okay. I don't really believe that anyone's really in.
Yeah, I don't think abortion rights are okay right now.
Well, number one, I don't support that. I think that was wrong. They shouldn't have done that. But
so then you voted for it, right?
Yeah, and I would do it again, 100%, 100%, because I value my lifestyle, in the economy, our place on the world stage more than a few states outlawing.
Kamala Harris is significantly better for the economy than Trump, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah, absolutely. So her tax cuts were focused on the average American. That's a good thing right now. Not to mention, she doesn't support tariffs like Trump, which, by the way, is a really good reason why any libertarian should have voted for Kamala Harris over Trump. Do you agree with the Trump's tariffs?
I don't fully agree with them. I think that he's already kind of started.
Do you agree with them at all?
Universally, no. Targeted tariffs are fine.
Targeted tariffs shouldn't be fine. Even targeted ones for you.
Really? Because I've heard because I've heard you on live say before that you are in support of certain targeted tariffs.
I am. I'm talking about you because you're a libertarian. Libertarians don't support targeted tariffs. Don't support any restriction on the free market.
Okay. Well, whatever. My point is that
wouldn't Kamala Harris actually hold more libertarian ideals compared to Donald Trump here?
No,
absolutely she doesn't not. Support absolutely not. More absolutely restrictions not. On the free market, and he does. Absolutely.
Say that again.
Which candidate supports more restrictions on the market, Trump or Harris?
Which more restrictions on the market? Absolutely, yeah. Democrats 110%.
Whoa. Okay. Tell me. Kamala Harris's market restrictive policy. Because I could tell you Donald Trump, so tell me Kamala Harris's.
Yeah, well, so, and this is more just Democrats in general.
No, I want Kamala Harris's proposed policy. The policy that her campaign ran on.
All right, how about more regulation?
On what?
That again, it's like saying the Democrats do not have more regulation in the economy, and they make it more restrictive, and they make it more restrictive, for businesses to operate. They make it harder. There's more paperwork.
I want you to make it clear, right? Because I can make it incredibly clear how Donald Trump has a more restrictive policy than Kamala Harris on the market, right? Given his tariffs. And I can explain to you exactly how as well, the inefficiencies that it creates. And I can explain to you how that doesn't align with a libertarian worldview. So please explain to me, right, the restrictions that Kamala Harris wanted to impose on the market, right, with her proposed policy, and how it would be more restrictive than Trump's. Because right now I'm actually pretty sure you don't have an argument and you're just kind of operating off the vibes, bro.
No, I'm not operating off the vibes.
Heidi, thank you for the $10 on Venmo. Then prove it.
Okay, so again, like I said, all right, number one, I voted for Trump. I voted for him 3 times. I'm not, dude, Jesus fucking Christ. I'm not a massive Trump guy per se. I am. But, all right, so again, I don't give a fuck about certain
market restrictions.
You
don't care about market restrictions. So then why do you call yourself a libertarian? Do you just like how the word libertarian sounds?
Damn, you're annoying. So
how could you say I'm a libertarian, but I don't give a fuck about market restriction, especially really inefficient bad ones? How could you? What does the word libertarian mean to you?
Libertarian is laissez-faire. It's hands off of everything.
Then how can you say that you're for a laissez-faire, hands off everything economy while also saying that you don't give a fuck about putting the hands in everything? Like, come on.
What do you mean hands in everything? He's putting
hands on every single good imported into this country.
Number one, he's already started to walk those tariffs back a little bit.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. Whoa. Didn't you guys at first couple months ago start talking about how he was talking about 50% up to 50 or 60% possibly on China, and now it's down to like 15, 20? So yeah, it's already been walked back.
So Donald Trump the other day was just talking about how he was going to include tariffs in the first big bill that Republicans passed, which I also find ironic because all Republicans were screaming about single issue bills and now they support Donald Trump doing this. But he was just talking about wanting to put those tariffs into place.
Yeah, but you didn't answer my question. So didn't he?
Yeah, wait, hold on. He's so far, by the way, this is only proposals so far. He's not even president yet. So he's already said that, yeah, we're going to have 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico, and then we're going to have an additional 10% tariffs on China. And that's just the beginning. He wants tariffs. Now he's talking about tariffs on like foreign nations as well. There's a conversation about Denmark, according to reports, about putting tariffs on them if they don't sell in Greenland. I mean, it's crazy.
Okay, so again, you
did you see how his
didn't address what I said.
More so but you understand, like, his policies.
No, you guys are not addressing what I said.
You're not addressing what I said. What percentage of a tariff does Kamala Harris support on Canada? 0. What percentage of, well, I mean, whatever's under the USMCA. I'm not going to say 0. Close to 0. What percentage of tariff does she support on Canada? Close to 0. What tariff does she support on all the countries in the EU? Close to 0. What new tariffs has she proposed in her economic policy? 0. Okay, are tariffs, right, a hands-on approach that create regulations on the economy? Yes, absolutely. If anything, we actually see that both Donald Trump and Kamala Harris want to reindustrialize America. Donald Trump does it through market restriction. Boo, bad for a libertarian. Kamala Harris has done it through the raw investment of capital into the industries, as she did with the Chips and Science bill, which is like pro-libertarian. Like, literally, Kamala Harris has like more libertarian economic policy than Donald Trump.
Printing money is not libertarian.
Wait, we actually saw the greatest increase in the M2 money supply in April of 2020 under Trump's administration. We also saw that Donald Trump signed more money into debt-related spending, twice as much as Biden and Harris. So if printing money, right, and spending more money is antithetical to libertarian values, this is yet another reason why Kamala Harris holds libertarian values to a higher degree compared to Trump. And it doesn't just stop there. Let's go to immigration as well. Okay, what does immigration policy do? It restricts the free flow of labor entry into the market. Who is rhetorically stronger in an opposition of immigration? Obviously, Donald Trump. So it's like economy, spending, and immigration. Kamala Harris is more libertarian than Donald Trump. So what am I getting wrong here?
Yeah, so again, I love the pivot because...
this isn't a pivot! I've been trying to drive this point home the whole time. And you have failed to respond and address it. All that you've said is, no, you're wrong.
I'm trying to talk, but you keep interrupting.
Sorry, I don't know.
All right, so... so back to the original point that I was trying to make is that Trump has, again, already started to walk back these tariffs. Like he was talking.
So he lied?
You want to talk about lying? All right, let's talk about.
No, I'm just curious. Wait. No. Hold on. Before you pivot to another conversation.
I can't get a sentence in.
Wait. You're pivoting to another conversation. I asked you a question and you didn't answer.
About this in 10 minutes.
No. You didn't answer my question. I'm asking you not to pivot. So is your position now that Donald Trump lied about the tariffs? Like his key campaign promise of, we're going to have all these tariffs and we're going to raise all this revenue and we're going to cut all these taxes in order to do that. Did he lie?
I'm going to use your term. His position evolved. That's your term when Kamala.
Okay, so what indicates that his position? What changed to make his position evolve?
Say that again.
What changed to make his position evolve?
Probably backlash from the public, which is politics.
Okay, so we now know that he only supports a 10% increase in tariffs on China compared to like the numbers he was throwing out before, like 60 to 100%.
Okay, wait. So I just want you to
change anything that I said.
I just want you to acknowledge that he is already walking back these tariffs.
Yeah, he's reduced the proposed tariffs on China specifically.
Okay.
Now,
I also don't think it's necessarily the case that he walked them back. I think that like he's not even president yet, right?
Not walking back, going
because he's not even president yet. We haven't even seen policy that he's proposed. So he's president-elect still. He hasn't even taken the office. So we have no idea what he's actually going to do as president. These are just things he's talked about so far.
Okay, all right.
Also, can you respond to the position that Kamala Harris has more libertarian policy than Donald Trump?
That she has a more libertarian policy?
Yeah.
I don't. I just look. Here's.
I gave you an argument. I gave you an argument. You can't just say no. You have to refute the position.
No, I meant no, as in I can't. Like I am familiar, and well, number one, her policy, she really hasn't. She did not do a great job in the campaign of making super clear what her policy was.
She made it more clear than Donald Trump, but that wasn't my claim. I told you that Kamala Harris has more libertarian policy than Donald Trump because she supports less regulations on the market.
She does not support less regulations.
Yes, she does. I literally gave you an argument.
On U.S. companies. That she does not support
on the market. She doesn't support tariffs. Automatically speaking, there's less restrictions.
Okay, so how about
on American consumers and on American producers? On the market, she's rhetorically more for like pro-immigration than Donald Trump. Like anti-immigration policies, restriction on the labor entry into the market. That's antithetical to libertarian.
Oh, and what?
On the market, she's pro individualistic rights, freedoms, and liberties. Donald Trump supports giving the state more power to infringe upon those, such as in the case of abortion. On the market, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden spent less and printed less than Trump did.
Okay, I'm actually
that aligned closer with libertarian
I love that
values
you just said that. I love that you just said that. I'm looking at an article right now. 80% of all U.S. dollars in existence were printed in the last 22 months, from 4 trillion in January in January 2020 to 20 trillion in October 2020. All right, so this is actually a few years ago. But
under who?
Biden.
No, wait, was the first year you said?
2020.
You said 2020 to 2020. When did Biden become president? When did Biden become president?
January of 2020.
No, January of 2021.
Oh, so all right, so yeah, so went through until October, from October to 2021.
Oh no.
It's October of 2020.
Oh, this poor sap. Somebody get this poor sap a map, dude. Oh my God.
But
oh my God. What policy did Biden implement in his first 6 months in office to print money?
Well, would you right? So when you say policy, wait. When you say policy, would you count?
2020 and 2021. That was completely the doing of the feds, as well as the policy passed under Trump's admin, particularly that towards the end.
So wait, what would you just say about what policy did Biden? What was that sentence?
Yeah, you said that all this money was printed in 2020 when Trump was president. Then in like the first 6 months.
No, I said January 2020 until.
No, you said 2020.
That's when it's.
Yeah, exactly. January of 2020. He was fucking president for the year following.
Through when did it end?
You said October of 2021.
Yes.
So that's the last year of Trump's presidency, plus like the first like 7 or so months of Biden's. So did you know that when a new president comes into the Oval Office, that for like the first year, they're not really causing anything?
I understand that people say it because economic policy does not impact the economy immediately. It does take some time to kind of.
Yeah. So in other words, you just told me that Trump printed all this money. Got it.
No, I didn't.
Well, if you originally thought that Biden was president in 2020, you were going to blame it on Biden, but now you know that Trump was president in 2020, you're obviously not going to blame it on Trump. Why the hell would you ever want to say something that goes against your narrative, even though it's logically implicated given your own statement due to the fact that you just didn't know who's president in 2020? It's ridiculous. Like, literally, this is the meme. This is a fucking meme. Take, like, the same sentence. If Biden says it, oh, the terror, like Satan 2.0, get that guy out of here. If Trump says it, all hail Trump, did nothing wrong, I don't care.
No, I've never.
That's exactly what you're doing.
No, I've never said Trump never did anything wrong. I don't believe that. I don't think he's perfect. I didn't.
The relation is you thought Biden was president in 2020 because that's when the greatest.
No, I didn't think he was president in 2020. I was reading the article and I did not see at the top where it said that. And then once I was reading,
but once you see that it says Trump was actually president, all of a sudden, right? That's no longer.
No, and a lot of that was COVID money printed, which I didn't agree with. I didn't think he should have done that. I didn't think
you're debating against yourself. You're debating against yourself.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You said that Biden and Harris printed all this money. Now that you've read the article and figured out it's under Trump, now you're like, oh, well.
Trump did print a lot of money that I disagreed with. He absolutely did. I didn't think like the $1,200 COVID that everybody got and the second stimulus check. I can't remember if that was the second one under Trump or I can't remember. Was the second one under Trump or Biden?
The second one was under Biden.
Okay.
$4 trillion in COVID stimulus.
Neither of those. Those were ridiculous. That should never have fucking happened.
Okay.
Both of them. Trump and Biden.
This guy's pro recession. Got it.
No. What? Oh, you think $1,200 to each person? You think that was?
We literally had the quickest rebound from the global inflation out of any other.
And do you think that was because of $1,200?
That was because of a collective close to $4.3 trillion injected into our economy. We went from two financial quarters near recession towards largest and the greatest GDP growth out of any other country in the world, and the best response to the inflation onset by that stimulus out of any other country in the G7, literally because of how much money we injected.
Yeah, you always
and where it went. We had the best response to COVID in the world. No one did it better than the U.S. We on the fucking finish line. Okay, right? We always finish first.
I'm interrupting.
No one did it better than the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No one did it better. What? Name a country that did it better.
Well, you always reference the G7. You always say we had the best response in the G7.
Yeah.
Why do you say G7 if we had if we're the best in the world? Why don't you say we had the best response in the world? But you never say in the world. You always say in the G7. Didn't like Argentina or some country or Brazil have a better rebound?
Yeah, Argentina rebounded quicker from inflation than the U.S. did.
Okay, and also I want to address one other thing you said.
So now tell me what the liberal president of Argentina at the time did better than us.
I do not keep up at all with Argentine politics.
Wait, sorry, not the liberal, the libertarian.
Again,
you know what they did? You know what they did? They didn't spend any money, and they just started a recession. That's why they didn't have an inflation.
So then why would you say that? You're saying that they rebounded back from inflation better.
Yeah.
All right, I get what you okay.
Yeah. So, who did it better than the U.S.? All things considered, GDP growth and inflation, who fucking did it better?
Okay, so and this part is a genuine question. Why do you always preface it with Group of Seven instead of?
Because they're the seven largest countries in the world based upon the economy size. Obviously, it's not going to be a fair and valid comparison to take the U.S. and compare it to some itty bitty country with a GDP equivalent to that of Alabama. It's just
Okay. All right. That's fine. Anyway, one other thing that you just said was that we had gotten near recession levels, and it's funny because we were in a recession.
Who brought us out of it?
No. Well, how'd they bring it up? Bring us out of it. How did he bring us out of it?
By spending money.
And?
No, literally, that's it. By fucking spending money. And what? No, that's it. They spent money to increase consumer confidence, to increase consumer spending.
There we go. I got you. All right. Keep going.
That's a fucking answer.
Okay. All right. You done?
That's why there's high rates of inflation in all major countries in the earth.
Is it my turn?
Because all major countries that wanted to avoid a recession spent money. It did create inflation. It was necessary.
Okay.
We did it the best.
Okay. So a couple things. Number one, they also tried to change the definition of a recession.
Who fucking cares?
You can or you can't. I don't care if you do or not, but they did. Anyway.
Who's they?
The fucking, I don't know if it's a Biden ad. The Biden administration.
Really? Show me the executive order from the Biden administration that changed the definition of a recession.
The Biden administration executive order would just be Joe Biden. That wouldn't be the entire.
No, executive orders have numbers. What executive order in the Biden-Harris administration changed the definition?
And I also said they tried to change I said they tried to change the definition of a recession.
Okay,
and then
they tried and failed?
They tried and everyone called them on their bullshit. Anyway.
So how do you fail to pass an executive order?
No, when did I ever say executive order?
Was it policy in Congress?
I did again. It wasn't really a policy. It was them trying to convince the entire country that we are not. They said we're not in a recession, even though we did have 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. And they said, no, that's not a recession. No, it doesn't matter if it's 2 consecutive
did
quarters.
Biden like go on like a podium and say this?
0.0001% growth.
Did Biden like go on a podium?
It's still a recession.
Did Biden go on a podium and say this?
What's the secretary? What's her name? The press secretary. She did.
Show me.
Okay, hang on.
Jennifer, thanks for the $5 as well.
Also, like, how the fuck is this relevant to any point that I made? I've like.
Well, no, I'm again, like, you're the one that's taking up more time. I made it as a side note, and then you said I don't care. I was ready to move on to the next point, but now you're like, oh, bring me a fucking pub. I'm like, all right, I will. That's fine.
Kaylin, thanks for the $5. My mom and I watch your debates. We love you. We love you too. I appreciate you.
Someone at the press secretary just said that. Wait, so how did they try to change the definition of this? Because in order to like change a definition of a term such as recession, like you have to pass legislation.
All right, here we go. July 28, 2022. Biden administration rejects recession label for economy to describe it despite. So I mean, that's the thing. Like Biden administration rejects recession label for like like that label.
So they didn't try to change the definition.
Stop. Let me talk. It's not a label. It is 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth.
What point did I make that this refutes? Or is this just an irrelevant point?
No, well, it was because you had said it was you talking about how we had pulled out of a quote near recession, and it was not a near recession.
Okay, so you didn't respond to any. So you didn't respond to any of the substance of my position. You didn't respond to how Kamala Harris has a libertarian policy compared to Donald Trump. You didn't respond to the fact that Biden and Harris absolutely mogged the leadership of every other country in the G7, rebounding us from the inflation and reductions in GDP growth as caused by the pandemic. You're not responding to any of these points. The only substance and relevance that you've had this entire time is that it wasn't a near recession, but it was a recession.
All right, fine. That's fine. You want more substance? How about this? You just used a term, consumer. You said that the more spending inspired more consumer confidence. Number one, printing money.
That's true.
Under the Biden admin is what you said.
I said an increase in consumer confidence.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, an increase in consumer spending. Yes, that's true.
So number one, printing money doesn't really increase consumer confidence. People are a little bit smarter than that. But also, what is better for consumer confidence, which is honestly more important than but most economic policy than any politician will come up with is
we know that COVID stimulus increased consumer confidence. Are you?
Yeah, because you gave everybody $2,000.
No fucking shit. Yes, literally.
You printed it. That's monopoly money. It's
base
money. That shit's
base. That's how we avoided our fucking economy collapsing. You understand that both the Democrats and the Republicans, Donald Trump and Joe Biden, were all like, this is a good decision. Not to mention that Donald Trump literally printed more, signing $2.4 trillion of debt-related spending into law, compared to $1.9 trillion from Biden. And it's not a local issue in the U.S. This happened in every other country in the G7. Inflation everywhere because of this.
And a big part of that global inflation is because we printed so much money.
No, then why did it happen simultaneously? If it is the case that the U.S. increase in the M2 money supply is what caused the global inflation, we would have expected it to start in the U.S. and then happen in other countries, but it happened at the same time in other countries first. Additionally, it is the case that once again, the greatest increase in the M2 money supply was under Trump's admin, right? So blame it on him.
That's actually not true. The greatest supply in the M2
You gave me a source. Gave me a source to indicate that it was true, dummy.
But are you talking about if you're talking about ever, it was under Obama. In 2012,
No, I'm talking about under the last 2 administrations. The greatest increase in the M2 money supply under the last 2 administrations.
So actually,
presidency.
I don't know where you get the notion that we would expect to see, a delay in global inflation as a result of the U.S. printing more money. I don't know where you get that from. The entire world's economy runs on the back of the U.S. When the U.S. experiences I think it's recession-wise. The analogy is when the U.S. or when the world has the flu, the U.S. catches a cold. The U.S. economy runs the entire. It's the global currency. The U.S. runs the world's economy. Period.
So then Trump caused global inflation.
The rest of the world.
So then Trump caused global inflation. Why the hell would you want to vote for someone that caused global inflation?
I have literally said multiple times that he should not have printed all that money.
So, but why? Yeah, he literally caused global inflation that like fucked like over 100 countries over.
So do you agree? Wait. So are you
in
now
accordance with your worldview? That's true.
Are you now agreeing that printing money is a bad thing and it caused bad economic?
I'm literally saying in accordance with your worldview. But does spending and printing money cause
snuck that in?
inflation? Yes.
You snuck that in at the end. But are you recognizing that printing money is generally a bad thing?
No, wait. There's a difference between the statement that spending and printing money has inflationary pressures.
No, not spending. Not spending.
Is generally a bad thing.
Only printing.
But dude, I will say it again. In accordance with your worldview, Trump's the big bad guy, right?
No.
So
no, not the big bad guy. He did something that I disagreed with. That's the difference.
Dude, you've been sitting here explaining to me how this something that he did that you disagreed with caused inflation in every country on earth.
It did.
Name something that Biden and Harris have done that's worse.
Like economically?
By the way, Harry, I don't want to take up your leverage. Just tell me to shut the hell up.
No, I'm very much enjoying watching you cooking the shit out of this guy. I'm very much enjoying this.
You said find something worse. You mean just economic, like for inflation?
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
I mean, I wouldn't say. So that's one thing. You say worse, but the cumulative effect. They don't do anything to help it. All this money going to Ukraine. Which wait, I have a question.
Hey, buddy, what percentage of our military budget went to Ukraine?
I think it's like what 4 or 5%, something like that.
1/32. All this money going to Ukraine,
3%. All right, so
like $120 billion predominantly in weapons.
I said 4 or 5%.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Would you support sending Ukraine $1 trillion for humanitarian aid?
No.
No, but you support Trump's tax cuts, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
They spend $1 trillion on buying an extra yacht for people making over $500,000 a year. Didn't lead to a substantial increase in the GDP, as well as it didn't lead to any new business investment on the macro scale, so it didn't trickle down to the average American.
Hang on.
So please tell me why you'll support spending $1 trillion on tax cuts for the ultra wealthy with no rebounding effects on the macro scale that are positive for us, but the idea of spending 1/32 of our military budget on Ukraine is absolutely morally abominable.
I didn't say it was morally abominable. Those are words that you just.
Sorry, I'm being hyperbolic because I'm fucking funny, and of course that's the part that you latch onto instead of responding to the whole like substance of.
And I'm trying to. Let me talk.
$120 billion predominantly weapons to Ukraine is the boogeyman that's causing so much inflation. But then $1 trillion to the ultra wealthy's base is like insane.
No, I'm looking at taxfoundation.org. New study finds TCGA strongly boosted corporate investment. So the idea that these wealthy people just took these tax cuts and these corporations took these tax cuts, put it in their pocket and said, yep, that's that. Number one, no smart businessman would do that because you get no ROI on a yacht. They get ROI on investments into their employees and their businesses and their supply chain, et cetera, et cetera. So the idea that wealthy people are doing that is simply wrong. Also,
look up macro level business investments. Brookings did an entire study that demonstrated that within the first 3 years of the bill, there was no new macro level business investment observed, apart from a reinvestment into their own stocks that goes right back into their pockets. It's called corporate greed.
Oh my God. Okay.
And that's why we only saw an additional $8 billion added to our GDP every single year from this $2 trillion bill. Explain that one.
Number one, I don't know where you get that number. What did you say? Did you say 8 or 6 billion? Did you say 8 or 6 billion?
$8 billion a year. And I'll tell you where I got it from. Go on Google, type in macroeconomic effects of 2017 tax reform.
Hang on. Macroeconomic effects.
By the way, I got to leave in like 5 minutes. I told the girlfriend I'd head to her house like 30 minutes ago, but I've just been having fun with Joe, and I'm a piece of shit boyfriend, and I got to do it.
Wait, what'd you say the thing was? Macroeconomic effects of
2017 tax reform bill.
And what'd you say it was? What was the website? Billings?
Brookings post. I wish I went to, yeah. It's written by 2 Harvard economic professors, 1 liberal and 1 conservative.
Number one, I mean, I don't. You said you have 5 minutes, so I don't really want to spend the whole 5 minutes reading through this.
Well, we'll talk about foreign policy after he leaves. So just do this point.
Happy to do that.
Great.
I'll give me 30 seconds. I'll do this a little quick.
I'm tired, man. Dude, I just got back from LA. I debated Emily Wilson again.
Oh,
it was terrible, Harry.
No.
It was so fucking bad.
Did she make an outrageous comment like last time?
So many. So that was like the first thing that we talked about. She's pro-Confederates, So
what?
Yeah.
Wait, she doubled down again?
She tripled down on being pro.
Oh my god.
Okay. Hey, Dean. Question. So I'm reading the abstract on this Billings article, and it does reference Brookings. It does reference a growth rate of 0.04% per year, but then the very next sentence says, if the 2019 provisions of the law are made permanent, these numbers would be 4.7% for long-run corporate productivity, 1.2% for GDP after 10 years, and 0.13% in the growth rate.
Yeah, because they literally told him what to do to make it better, right, in the long term. And I have a question. What's expiring this year?
TCGA.
Thanks.
Which they're gonna extend. They're going to extend it.
Yeah, so every year it increases our GDP by 0.04%.
Well, again, in the short term, but they're going to extend it, so that's not going to end up being the case.
So another 0.04% increase every year.
No, this is saying, according to this very article.
It says if it's going to be permanent, it'll do 4.6%.
4.7.
4.7%. That's going to be the total yield of the GDP given the permanence of the tax cuts.
I don't see where it says.
You read it off.
Yeah, it doesn't say anywhere that that's the cumulative.
Explain to me how, if it is a 10-year bill, it'll be 0.04% per year, but if it's permanent, it won't. You're not changing anything in the current tax policy. You're just changing how long that same tax policy exists.
Well, again, like I said, I'm just doing a quick little scan of this thing. I'm not going to read the whole thing. You got to go. But, again, like if you understand corporate finance and how investments work, it's not a flat line. It scales. It scales every year. That's how an investment works.
But a zero doesn't. A zero doesn't scale. Right?
But it's not a zero. It's not a zero.
It's a zero for new business investment on the macro scale. And that I already
please! If you're going to talk about new business investment, all new business investment is in the short term a zero or you don't know what you're talking about with this. Because
bro, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm giving you studies. You're like, I'm a libertarian, but tariffs are awesome. Like.
I didn't say tariffs are awesome. I literally said
Yes, you literally said I love Trump's tariffs so much. I can't wait for them to be implemented. They're going to save America.
Dude, see, you're just like making shit. I get you're doing it for entertainment and the crowd.
Listen. If you could just label yourself a fucking libertarian without like 2 thoughts, you probably stole that word on a Facebook meme that your aunt reposted, and you're like, shit. I'm going to run with it because it makes me seem like a patriot.
Wait, there's an entire. So it's like I'm going to sit here and talk shit. There's an entire conflict of interest disclosure in here that you. Let's see, what is this?
The conflict of interest disclosure goes over how one of them is a liberal and the other is a conservative.
It also says that the authors didn't receive any financial support from any firm or any person for the paper. No outside party had the right to review this paper.
Wait. Is this like 3 paragraphs, the entire fucking thing?
No, you're looking at either a like summary, an abstract, or the first
I am looking at it.
And by the way, at the top it says download the final draft.
It's about 38 pages. All right, Harry, I appreciate you for letting me up. I gotta run
anytime, man.
My girlfriend yells at me. So
go do your thing. Go do your thing.
Take care, man. I appreciate you for letting me up.
Likewise, man. Appreciate it. Have a good one. 1 second. All right. You want to do foreign policy now?
Absolutely.
Okay. What did you? I feel like you had something on your mind regarding foreign policy. So what did you want to say?
Yeah, it's a question for you because I hear a lot of times that not people, but like you, Dean, Harry, or you, Dean, and Parker, will draw kind of a parallel between Ukraine and Israel. And
I do not draw a parallel there.
Well, no. Let me clarify what I mean by that. What I mean by that is that you guys will say, people will come up here and they'll say, Ukraine shouldn't be spending money at Ukraine, not our problem, blah, blah, blah. And then you guys will a lot of times say, well, then why is Israel a problem? Why are you okay with foreign aid to Israel? So I want to get your whole take on that. I want to know.
That's not my take at all, by the way. I don't say that when people say that.
Okay, what's your take on it then?
So I don't know. Maybe you're like citing Dean or Parker or something like that. I don't know.
I thought I heard you say that.
My take is that I think there are different conflicts that require different solutions. So like when someone brings up Ukraine, I think that's a uniquely different scenario than what's going on in the Middle East. And I think given the circumstances in the Middle East, it's perfectly justified for somebody to be opposed to funding to Israel without like strings attached, saying like, hey, it can't be used in X, Y, and Z manner, or like saying, yeah, we only support defensive weapons to Israel for like the Iron Dome, for example. Because I think that pursuing defensive weapons for Israel is like a decent, a valid cause, given the fact that like Hezbollah obviously wants to invade Israel, and that could become a broader Middle Eastern war and like get Iran into the mix, and we don't want that. So like keeping peace is obviously a good point, but like that's not my argument. I don't think they're similar conflicts.
Well, no, I don't mean similar. I guess, okay, in your view, which one is more just for us to be involved? Like, or do you think that? Like, do you think that there is one that we are more just to be involved with?
I mean, okay, so involved is like
not
depends.
involved,
like involved in the current way that we are, just involved generally.
Right, what we're doing, now, not involved.
Okay, no, I think I'm more of a supporter of what we're doing in Ukraine, obviously.
Okay, why?
I mean, look, for a number of reasons. I think we have, historical agreements with Ukraine, with the Budapest Memorandum saying that, if they denuclearize, we would provide them with aid. And I think like upholding our bargain or our side of the deal is really important, because if we want to pursue denuclearization in the age of nuclearization in the future with other countries, we have to show them that like, hey, we actually follow our word, and we won't 20 years from now just kind of back off because things became inconvenient for us. So I think number one, honoring our agreements is really important, but also number two, precedent on the world stage, right? Russia, I mean, countries like Iran and China are watching. China's watching this, especially in the context of Taiwan. So if we set the precedent that, hey, we, the United States, won't come to the support of our allies, then this gives Russia the mandate to do that. And it gives Russia the mandate to go into other countries we, the United States, won't do anything. China's watching. It gives them the mandate to go into Taiwan. We won't do anything there. So I think like setting the precedent that, hey, these countries can't bully smaller countries, especially countries that are democracies and allies of ours and like huge trading partners of ours. Yeah, obviously that's something that's not permissible on the world stage. And I obviously don't want Russia getting stronger. Russia wants Ukraine for trading ports. They want it for natural resources. They want it for land. I mean, they want it to be able for them to get stronger. I don't want Russia to get stronger, and funding Ukraine adequately and giving them weapons that they need prevents that. Then I'm all there. And there's a number of other reasons, but I think, then Russia's justification is bullshit. They want to pursue possibly NATO countries. I think Ukraine's like the last line of defense. So that's why I'm favorite funding Ukraine.
Okay. And, so a couple things. Number one, I agree overall that we we want to keep our word, because, and especially what you said, Taiwan. We do not want to embolden, especially China, because I think that they are much more of a military threat because we're giving Ukraine outdated weapons right now, and they're being used by their military that's well less trained than we are, and they are at least holding their own. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, everything, what's true, what's not true, but they're at least holding their own. And so, imagine if the U.S. military, if we gave, our actual modern equipment, not gave them, but like if we got involved. Anyway, my point is, I agree with you on the point that we don't want to, especially, get China to get the balls to go invade Taiwan. But I hate Russia. I think Putin is evil, the whole 9 yards. But it is true that we did promise Russia NATO will not move 1 inch closer west or east, and that's going to be that. And for the Budapest Memorandum, and then we absolutely have just expanded. Not we. NATO.
When did we make that promise?
I mean, I can look it up. I don't know when it was promised, but we did.
Yeah, get like a quote or anything that we promised that NATO wouldn't be moving to other countries.
Hang on.
Yo, Heidi, thanks for the $10 on Venmo. I appreciate you. And Glenn, and I like the dog bone emoji, by the way. Glenn, thanks for the $20, my man. You're a saint for dealing with all the uneducated mag idiots. I appreciate you, my man. London, thanks for the $1 as well. Scared for our country and my rights as a woman. Yeah, it's going to be a rough 4 years. And Haley, I saw your message that you sent your very liberal mom a link to the live, and she watched it for 2 hours the other night. She thinks you're very smart. Well, I tell your mom I said hi, and I appreciate her. Very nice person. And Kellyanne, thanks for the 50 cents, looking insanely fine once again. Kellyanne, you're amazing. You know that. I appreciate you. Camilla, thanks for the $1 as well. You're winning the best hair poll in the Discord. Is that so? Wow. The tumultuous 8. Maybe they're smiling it.
Are you, and I'm looking right now, I'm not the best researcher, but so are you saying we never claimed that?
I'm just asking for you to prove it.
I mean, nobody, like that's been a consistent talking point, and nobody on either side has ever, like Democrat or Republican, no one has ever said that's not true. Like I've never heard any politician ever refute that point.
Yeah, it's total like Russian propaganda. The idea that like, oh, NATO had to stay where it was. Like, and also like the whole premise of like NATO moving into other countries is dangerous for Russia is total nonsense. NATO is a defensive alliance.
No, I agree with you. I was actually talking to my friend about that the other night. I was like, NATO is not going to invade Ukraine or invade Russia. So I understand that it's really not a threat to them, but the reality is they see it as a threat. And perception.
No, they don't.
The Russian government doesn't.
Yeah, no, it's total crap, right? Because Latvia and other countries that border Russia or are near Russia joined NATO in 2004, and they didn't invade those countries. So obviously they don't view NATO as a threat. Gabriella, thanks for the cap. Putin just wants to reunite the Soviet Union and have more power for Russia, and he views that Ukraine obviously having bordering the Mediterranean, if my geography is correct, right? Mediterranean? Or is it the Black Sea?
I think it's a black.
I think it might be the Black Sea. I think it's Mediterranean.
Black Sea. I think it is Black Sea.
I just want to make sure. That people. It's a Black Sea. Okay, it's a Black Sea. The Black Sea. Mediterranean's further over to the left. Yeah, they want ports in the Black Sea to be able to trade. So their whole like NATO argument is total nonsense. There's no threat there. They know that there's no threat there, and we especially know that because the United States met with Russia a number of times in the lead up to their invasion, saying there is no threat. There's no NATO buildup. There's no threat. NATO has absolutely no intention of threatening Russia in any capacity, any. And we like conveyed this to Russia a number of times, and they were like, yeah, whatever. So it's clearly not.
Well, you're okay, and again, I do not support Russia at all. Mm-hmm. But it's not military, but like economic, like NATO's interests and Russia's interests do not align. Like they're not necessarily. I'm not saying that like NATO is not a threat to Russia. Russia's not a threat to NATO, but they do not have similar interests, right? So it's a
yeah.
threat.
I mean, I think that Russia wants to provoke war and NATO wants to prevent it. I think Russia objectively has bad interests and NATO have good interests in this scenario. So yeah, they don't have similar interests. I'm not saying they have good interests. I'm just saying that we should not entertain or allow their bad interests to expand or to entertain them. I'm not saying that, but the fundamental thing is they do not have the same interests. And if you do not have the same interests as another country, especially when you have two, I'm not going to call Russia a superpower, but you have two of the largest militaries and economies in the world, then they're going to perceive it as a threat. I still think that's nonsense, though. Like, you can't make this argument. This like if you're anti-Russia, which you should be in this context, then you can't make the argument that they were being threatened.
I'm anti-Russia. I'm not pro sending not all of, but we've sent a lot of money to Ukraine, and I would have a lot less of a problem with it if European countries contributed as much or honestly more than we did. We have
that would make no sense because our GDP is larger than theirs. So in terms of like a percentage of GDP, there are NATO or not just NATO countries, but European countries that have similar rates to us when it comes to GDP growth. And also, like, I don't think it's necessary for Europe to contribute a similar amount in terms of GDP just for us to recognize that it's the right thing to do. It's still the right thing to do for the United States to do it. Like, even if Europe was like, yeah, we're all out, the United States should still supply Ukraine with weapons.
Well, okay, and I get that, but my thing is that it points to a bigger problem of that so number one, this is much more of a threat. Russia is much more of a threat militarily to Europe than to us, right? Would you agree with that?
I mean, yes and no. It depends on the kind of threat, because if they're a threat to like
them expanding is poses more.
Then it's still yes and no. Like them expanding, still yes and no, because if they threaten Poland or Sweden or Latvia or Finland, I mean, that's a threat to the United States as well.
Well, it is a threat to the U.S., but they're the countries getting invaded. What I'm saying is that it speaks to a larger problem, and this is what my biggest foreign policy problem with Europe and a lot of the rest of the world is that they rely, the reason a lot of these other countries have stuff such as free healthcare where we don't is because they don't spend nearly what they should on their military, because they know that if Russia, if China, Iran, North Korea, that if they act up, if they invade, if they start something, they know that the U.S. is going to come in and essentially fight the war for them. And
I disagree.
What do you mean you disagree?
I totally disagree. So the reason that Great Britain has universal health care with the NHS, I believe it's called, or whatever it might be, somebody know the abbreviation in the chat, is not because we provide aid or more to NATO than they do.
No, not NATO.
Last time I checked, it was 21 out of 34 nations in NATO are meeting their 2% GDP target for military funding. NHS, yeah. And that's more than ever before. It's more than under Donald Trump as well. So it's not like these countries, and also some of these countries that are just below the 2% thing are just that, just below. It's not like they're spending zero and just like, oh yeah, the United States will take care of it. It's like, no, these countries in terms of NATO are contributing as a percentage of their GDP, for the most part, the majority, the required amount.
Okay, so are you saying that a lot of the rest of the world, all right, so imagine this. What if we scaled back our military to, half of what we are now, to a point that like that would be unrealistic, but just, as a hyperbole. Let's just say we cut our defense budget in half, and then these other countries, what would be their reaction? They would say, oh, you can't protect us the way that you could before, right? We protect.
Yeah, I think that's probably what they'd say.
We protect Europe. We protect now South Korea. They aren't quite as they aren't quite as bad as a lot of European countries. And Great Britain, yeah, they have a very strong military. They spend a lot. Them and Germany and France are the outliers. The rest, like Switzerland, doesn't even have a military. Pretty much.
They're historically neutral, right?
Right, but what the hell happens if they get invaded? They can be neutral all they want. What if they got invaded?
Yeah, I mean, other countries would come to their aid, probably, right?
Okay,
but also, I think that
would be 90% of that response force. It would.
Yeah,
be,
well,
same with.
in terms of if you're just looking at raw numbers or raw contribution. Well, it depends on the circumstances, because even the United States didn't have the most troops die in World War II, right?
No, and that's okay. And that's what it was. Russia, and that's. I had a roommate in college that was he grew up in Germany, but his family was from Moscow. And, I would always hear that, Russia did more in World War II because, look how many more people we lost. It's like, okay, I get that. But also, it's not to disrespect the people that have died, but that's not the objective of a war. The objective of a war is not to lose as many soldiers as you can.
Well, right. Yeah. I don't necessarily think that them just throwing their soldiers into the meat grinder means that they had more contribution to the war ending. But my point is that there are circumstances of which other countries might contribute more than the United States if, for example, Switzerland were invaded. But just to go back to the original point, I also think it's perfectly, I think the United States would have the exact same reaction that other countries would have to us if, for example, Great Britain cut their military funding in half and they just kind of said, yeah, we're really not feeling this military thing anymore. We're going to cut it in half and just see what happens. The United States would be like, okay, what about the security of Europe? What about this? What about that? So it's not just, when we look at the military, when we think about NATO, obviously the United States is the big dog that people are scared of. And that's one of the reasons why NATO is so strong. But it doesn't mean that people like Germany, like France, like Great Britain, all these other countries are not major contributors as well to make NATO strong, because it's not just the United States versus everybody. It's the United States. It's Lithuania. It's Great Britain.
I agree. In Germany and France, they have and Great Britain, they have very, very powerful militaries. Yeah. But it would take like 4 of our aircraft carriers to take out any of they do not. It doesn't compare to what the U.S. has, and a lot of why they're so strong. Their military, their technology, their weapons, their fighter jets a lot of them are U.S. technology. F-35s. We give them a lot of weapons and defense systems.
We also sell it to them.
Well, no, I understand that. But what I'm getting at is those countries are powerful off the back of a large portion of it is off the back of U.S. military technology.
But we still sell it to them. So it's not like we're just giving it to them in the United States or just handing it out to everybody.
I'm not talking about from an economical perspective. I'm talking about in this part of the conversation, it is more of they're outsourcing their military to us to an extent.
But that's also I also don't understand what the main argument here is anyway. Because are you mad that the United States is the most powerful country in the world? Are you saying that?
No. I'm mad that we that other countries have abused the fact that we are the most powerful country in the world, and that they.
Well, some of these countries literally don't have the capacity to invest in their military to the point where they would be able to stand a chance against Russia. So I have no problem with looking at
but a lot of them do. Some of them don't.
No, that's not true. That's not true. A lot of the NATO countries do not have that, right? And a lot of these NATO countries are also crucial for Europe's success, right? So when I'm looking at the pecking order of the world and I see that the United States is the wealthiest, most powerful country in the world, I have no problem with the United States having that role and using that role appropriately. I think it would be a dereliction of duty if we see things happening in Europe, if we see things happening in Asia, and they're happening to our allies, NATO country or not, and we just say, I'm sick of this whole military thing. I don't really want to, I don't want to get involved. Let them do their thing, and we'll deal with the repercussions.
I'm not saying to be an isolationist. What I'm saying is, why is it that every time something comes up, we are carrying 90% of the aid?
We're not carrying 90% of what's going on in Ukraine. And then again, even if we are carrying a significant portion, let's say it's 50% the United States and then 50% all these European countries. It is simply because we are the largest country largest economy, most successful country, wealthiest country, most powerful country in the world. So it makes sense as to why the biggest economy in the world would assist more than a country like Lithuania, which GDP might be the size of like Alabama or Georgia, probably smaller than
I'm not talking about countries like Lithuania. I'm talking about countries like, I understand that Great Britain, France, Germany, that they are contributing, but they are not. You have to scale up, and it's not a pure 1-to-1. You look at GDP and you look at 1-to-1. You also have to assess in how much risk. They have exponentially more risk if this goes wrong than we do.
What's going on, Paris? Good to see you. But yes and no, right? Yes, in the sense that they get their countries taken over 100%, no doubt. But no, in the sense that if France
Russia
gets taken over, that is terrible for the United States. That greatly hinders our security.
If all of Europe got taken over by Russia, an extreme, I'm not saying that would or could happen.
Right.
But if it did, Russia could still not take over the U.S. It still would not pose a true military threat.
That's not true.
It absolutely.
I'm not saying that they would sail their ships across the Atlantic or perhaps the Pacific on the other side and take over the United States and take over the mainland. But the idea that wouldn't be a major threat to the United States is unfounded. They would be a major. Think about all these economies that we're talking about now controlled by Russia, and they're all funding the military machine. If Russia took all over Europe, we would have a very difficult time combating that. And that's to the broader point of Ukraine, which I know you agree with funding Ukraine, but Donald Trump and his buddies aren't so secure on that. It's this could be a thing that Putin and the subsequent leaders of Russia, because Putin's getting up there in age, would pursue. That, they take over Ukraine, they pause, they don't invade any other country, and then they build their resources back up. And then they want to test NATO just a little bit. They take a little bit of Poland and say, well, we're not going any further, and then they see what NATO does. They keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
There's a huge difference right there. One of those countries is NATO, one of them is not NATO. If the Russian military steps 1 inch into Poland, that's war.
No, not necessarily. I mean, it would be a violation of Article 5 would be invoked. Ideally, Article 5 would be invoked ideally, but I think that it would be not crazy to assume that an internal debate in NATO would be, okay, let's just say that hypothetically Russia took like this abandoned town on the outskirts of Poland. It's like right on the border. Would Article 5 be invoked? I imagine a lot of these European countries would say, well, it's not that great of a threat, so we're not going to do that yet. And I think Russia, we have intelligence to suggest this as well, wants to test the limits of NATO. That's what they're doing right now with Ukraine, starting with a non-NATO country and then going from there.
Right, but if they took over a town in Poland, even if it was a population of 50, that's a sovereign country, that's a sovereign city. That is that would invoke. I would hope. I would hope that would invoke Article 5, and we would
totally. That'd be a violation, and that'd be. I would hope that Article 5 gets invoked. I'm just saying that Russia, this is their plan. This is what they want to do. So when we're talking about like Russia taking broader Europe, or at least taking more countries in Europe, it's not out of the realm of possibility. That's why, and Joe Biden has been very clear about this, based on U.S. intelligence, based on what Putin wants to do. That's why it's so important to fund Ukraine. And so if we're looking at this as a possibility, Putin certainly thinks so. I have no problem with the United States taking on that burden to put down our foot, saying like, hey, if you do this, understand that the entire force of the United States military will be at your doorstep, and we will basically blow you up.
And that's the thing. Like, so, yeah, absolutely. And you know, Russia is. They do not want war with. We don't want war with Russia, but Russia really does not want war with the U.S.
Yes.
They know what would happen. They know that we're the only country in the world that can produce and has a working fifth-gen fighter, and we have more aircraft carriers. We have double the aircraft carriers of every other country on planet Earth. More than double, I think 4x. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is that I just do not like. I just want those countries to recognize, hey, this is more of a direct threat to us than it is the U.S. And you know, maybe we should see it like that and not sit there and say,
okay,
oh, well,
but wait, what if
proportional?
Then are you? So your position is we want to fund Ukraine the same, but we want Europe to do it more.
I want Europe to step up their contributions to.
But wait, like a lot of these European countries are matching, at least as a percentage of GDP, what the United States is giving.
Yeah, and so that's not what. So exactly, that's what I'm saying, is that it should be more of an important and pressing issue to them. They should, instead of doing 1-to-1 with the U.S., like comparable, like GDP, comparatively proportionate, they should say, okay, what have we given? Like 175 billion? What have we given?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, 175 to whatever the hell, because there was more the other day that just got, so it might be 200 billion now. Anyway, so, and let's say proportionally, the EU has given 100 billion or 120 billion. They should be not 1-to-1 with us because their risk level is way higher. So they should be matching dollar for dollar what we are spending, because it's not as much of a militarily and sovereign threat.
That's insane. That's insane. That's like suggesting that a millionaire have the same amount spent on like a group project as somebody who makes $100,000 a year.
You don't think that Britain and France and Poland combined?
No, I don't think
together could outspend the U.S.
No, I don't think that. And you also have to think about like the political ramifications of doing such a thing. Like they're like, what's to say that if Great Britain were like, yeah, okay, you know what, let's step up our Ukraine funding and let's boost it by 2x. I think that there's a lot of people in Great Britain who might take issue with that.
Oh, I know they would.
So you have to balance the politics.
I know they would. I know they would have a problem.
Right.
The reason they would have a problem with that is because they'd sit back and say, we think America's got this. We think they can.
No, it's not that they would take it. No, not at all. It wouldn't be that. Oh, we think that the America would have this. It's just that they'd be angry that more funding than necessary per se, as at least when we're talking about a percentage of GDP, would be going to something that's not them, and it would be a significant portion for them. It'd be a lot more money for them than it would be for the United States. And you have to think about the pragmatic ramifications, the war ramifications, the political ramifications when you're talking about how much are these countries sending? How much can we get them to send? How much can we expect in the future? Because you can't just expect Great Britain to be like, oh yeah, we're going to send $300 billion next year.
I'm not saying them. I'm saying the four probably biggest economies in Europe. What's probably Great Britain, France, Germany, and
I don't know, like Spain, Italy, and that.
Italy, something like that. I'm saying them combined should be matching what we are spending. Not individually, but those 4 or 5 countries combined. That's all I'm saying.
I just disagree. I think you're not factoring in. You're not.
And I get what you're saying. You're saying like those people in those other countries, they're going to get, they're going to get mad at their politicians. They're going to say, you know what, we don't want to. But the thing is, why does it have to fall on us? That's my whole thing.
Well, I mean, I'll leave it on this.
And I'm about, I was just saying, I'm about to get off.
Yeah. Point is, the reason it falls on us is because, we don't like it, but we are the top dog. We are the most powerful military in the world. And in terms of how do we all succeed? How do we ensure Ukraine's success while making sure that these economies in Europe are maintained and that they're growing and that their military is growing and that the people are satisfied with how their government's running and the United States can say the same, is to keep it in a way where it's fair as a percentage of GDP. Because if we get into an area where the United States sends $150 billion and then Great Britain, France, Germany, and all these smaller economies whose, again, GDP are the size of certain American states have to match that, it's going to become unsustainable. And I think that you're going to see governments fall and people elected who say, I'm going to cut this funding and we're going to put it back into here. It kind of sounds familiar, right? Anyway.
No. All right. Well, thanks.
All right, man.
Have a good night.
Appreciate you coming up. Have a good one. Shout out Paris. I don't know if Paris is still here. Shout out Paris. Yo, Bianca, thanks for the $1. Thanks for all that you do. I've been watching for probably the last year, and it's encouraged me to pursue a political science degree. That's amazing. Congratulations, Bianca. I hope you enjoy. Now, let me get this absolute dork up here. Where is this guy? This fucking dork in the chat. Get this guy up here. Megan, thanks for the $50. Love from Megs. I appreciate you so much, Megan. Thank you so much. W's for Megan in the chat. Please fill the W's for the chat with Megan. Salem, thanks for the... Just shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Just shut up. Great. I'm going to mute you now, Numb. That's nice. Salem, thanks for the $1. Do you know that Oklahoma's Superintendent Ryan Walters says he's putting an end to sanctuary schools? Yeah, I mean, that guy has said a bunch of crazy shit. Didn't he buy, I'm not sure if I'm citing the state correctly, didn't he buy a bunch of Trump's Bible and try to put it in his schools? That guy had no idea what he's doing. Parker, thanks for the $5. I appreciate what you do. I'm scared for our LGBTQ plus rights in the future. I don't think there's anything. Can you be quiet do you want to stay here or not? You want to have a conversation? Because you're yapping in the chat. If you keep unmuting, I'll just kick you and find somebody else. So be quiet like a good little boy and be obedient. Yeah, Parker, I totally understand. It's going to be a rough 4 years, but you got to stay in the fight. That's what, we've never advanced anything. Never advance anything by staying on the sidelines, So I appreciate you and stay in it. Logan, thanks for the 50 cents. I stopped listening to music while I lift, and I just set my phone down and listened to you prove how stupidly brainwashed and incompetent these MAGA people are. But for real, I think I'm listening to this while lifting is so much better than music. I've done that with Parker and Dean and Chris's lives, where I'll be lifting because I'll do Peloton and then lift, and I'm like, yeah, this is not so bad. This ain't so bad, man. Tyrell, thanks for the $5. I'm 32 and envious of your confidence and intelligence. You're doing great. Please keep spreading the facts. Also, did you always read a lot, or does your knowledge stem from just having an exceptional memory? I wouldn't say my memory is exceptional by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it just comes with a lot of daily reading. And again, I'm no expert, you know what I mean? I'm by any means. Thanks for the $5. Lots of power today because of snow in Georgia. Watching to stay calm. First of all, snow in Georgia is crazy, but yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. And I hope that your state has the infrastructure to be able to deal with it. And, reach out if I can do anything to help. I mean, seriously. Ray, thanks for the $10. I appreciate that on Cash App. A lot of people struggling in the United States right now. Layla, thanks for the $3 on PayPal. Just popping in to humble you after Ali's dono. Team Chris, Moggs, L. Harry. All right. I'm trying to think of a new name. Combative 8. All right, Combative 8, whatever. I'm going to give you a new name every time. Christina, thanks for the $5 on PayPal. Thank you for supporting Ukraine, educating people, and fighting Russian propaganda. American support means a lot to Ukraine. I love the people of Ukraine. I love the country of Ukraine. You're an ally of the United States. It boggles my mind how people are not in more support. Christy, thanks for the $3 donation on PayPal. I appreciate you so much. Emily, thanks for the $5 on PayPal as well. You're amazing. Saying thank you for everything as you do as a member of the LGBTQ plus community. I'm very scared about the next 4 years. As I said to the Parker before you, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a rough 4 years. Got to stay in the fight, Got to stay in the fight. It's going to be rough, though. Caitlin, thanks for the $100. Can we get some W's for Caitlin in the chat? Caitlin in the chat, please. Thank you so much for the $100. That is incredibly kind. Thank you. You are amazing. I had a job interview today for a new teaching position. Oh, my God. And offered the job in the middle of the interview, and they told me I'm perfect for it and what they're looking for. I felt like making a donation to you in celebration of my new position. That'll be starting in February. Can we please get some W's for Caitlin? Number one, she's a teacher, but number two, she had an amazing day today. It was offered the job in the middle of the interview. Are you kidding me, Caitlin? Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. And I'm so grateful for your generosity here tonight. You are amazing. And I know you're going to excel at this new job you're taking in February. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Can you just shut the hell up, please? We're trying to thank our teachers, numbnuts. God, if we weren't on TikTok Live, I'd say worse. Brooklyn, thanks for the one. Be quiet. Be quiet. Your mod muted me for no reason. I'm sorry, Brooklyn. There's been a bunch of spammers in here tonight. So, it was totally done by accident. The mods, they do their best to keep track of everything. So hopefully we'll get you unmod. Maybe if the mods can look for somebody named Brooklyn, maybe get that done. Anyway, Venmo, Cash App. Hopefully I didn't miss anything or miss anybody, but Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and the link in the bio if you want to support the live. It goes an incredibly long way. I appreciate every single one of you, but of course there's absolutely no pressure to do that. Of course, drop a follow, double tap the screen. Let's try to get to 1 million likes. And as I said at the beginning of the live, I think that TikTok is probably going to get banned. So if you want to continue to support and follow me on other platforms, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook, Blue Sky, Snapchat. All those links are in my bio. Go ahead on over and follow. It'd mean the world. All right, now you can speak now. What the fuck do you want?
Oh, well, I was wanting to congratulate that teacher that got a new job. Congratulations, sweetheart.
Don't call her sweetheart.
Why?
Because I said so.
Well, I mean, hell, if she's nice, she's a sweetheart.
Don't call her sweetheart. I said so. You do that again, you're gone.
What are you going to do?
Kick you. Now, what do you have to say? Anything of substance or not?
Are you threatening me?
Yeah, I'm threatening you with a kick, yes.
Oh, wow. I'm so scared. I'm shaking. Anyways,
I hope you don't think that kick means like a literal kick. This guy, doesn't strike me as probably stealing the shed.
Literal, but anytime somebody says something like that to you, you take it literal and your mods take it literal. Look, bypass that bullshit. You think Gavin Newsom make a good president?
Yeah, I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you not seen what's happening to California?
I have seen what's happening in California.
Boy, that's a shame, isn't it?
It is a real shame. I don't know what that has to do with Gavin Newsom being a good president or not.
Yeah, it's got to do with him putting in state laws and stuff like that.
Like what? Like what?
Oh, to not let them do forest management.
Oh, really? I mean, that's actually not true because, for example, in 2019, Gavin Newsom waived environmental regulations to allow them to speed up the process of forest management. And there's more money right now for forest management than when Gavin Newsom got into office. The Gavin Newsom office put this out on social media the other day. Hold on, no, you're gonna learn something because you don't know what you're talking about. When Gavin Newsom took office, there was only that's great. I'm just gonna mute you again. That's fine. It's no problem. I could just do that. When Gavin Newsom took office, there was $200 million for forest management in the state budget. Now over $2 billion with a B. It's a lot of zeros. I know counting can be tough for folks like yourself. But that's a lot of zeros.
You have to take your shoes off to count to 20. I don't even want to hear none of that horse shit.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Exactly. I told you. You'd have to take your shoes off.
And you know what? You got to go meet the frog down the river to be able to take the haystack. Isn't that what they say? Talking to me.
What the fuck's a frog and a haystack got to do with a goddamn river?
Well, what are you talking about? What do you mean?
How you don't float, man.
You got to walk up the driveway with the book to get the end of the road.
Anyways,
you know what I'm talking about, brother?
Anyways, forest management, I wouldn't expect you to know a damn thing about it because
Did you just hear anything I just said?
Did you not hear what I said? You could throw dollar bills at a fire all day long, but them dollar bills are going to burn the fuck up.
Oh my God. That's listen, we were just talking to a guy who thought Donald Trump's tax cuts were good. That is the stupidest thing I've heard all night. And you just said you have to take your shoes off to count to 20. That's the dumbest thing I've heard all night.
Are you that slow?
Hold on. You don't understand anything about what you're talking about right now. You just said if we throw dollar bills at a fire, the dollar bills are just going to burn.
What?
If we spend money on forest management and we increase the budget for the fire department, no, that money's not just incinerating.
It got the funding for the fire department got decreased. Check it
Wrong.
out.
Oh, you're a victim of misinformation. Wow. Because you know what actually happened? You know what actually happened? You know what actually happened? Listen, you're going to learn something.
No.
The budget was not cut by
something.
Okay, and I'm sure I'm going to learn about the frog in the haystack with the shoes taken off, counting to 20. I can't wait. But now it's my turn. The fire department budget was not cut. The fire department budget was not cut. There's this lie going around that $17 million were cut.
It was cut. $17 million.
And you're not providing any new information that I didn't just say like a second ago. There's this claim going around saying that the fire department budget was cut by $17 million. I don't know why you're still talking. If all the people here tonight, you are the person we want to hear the least from. So if we can keep that to a minimum, that'd be fantastic. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. The fire department budget was not cut by $17 million. What happened is that the year before, there was $17 million worth of equipment purchase. So like the uniforms and the protective gear that firefighters wear. I shouldn't say uniforms because it's not uniforms, but the protective gear that firefighters wear when they're fighting a fire. They updated it. That purchase, it doesn't happen every single year. It's not new equipment that's purchased every single year. They made that one-time purchase that happens for every 4 to 5 years in the LA Fire Department that year. So they spent $17 million. The next year, they didn't have to spend an additional $17 million. So that $17 million was not in the budget because they didn't have to spend an additional $17 million. And when you factor everything in, such as the fact that when the budget was put forward, the mayor was privately negotiating a new deal with the fire department, which includes over $50 million in additional funding. Their budget actually went up by 7%. And my source for this is the LA Times.
Great source.
Thank you.
Hope you picked up on the sarcasm, but I wouldn't figure you would.
Well, you sound as sarcastic as a horseshoe on a horse with a turkey on the back. Ain't that right? Ain't that right?
Well, what do you know about fighting a fire that's bigger than your fireplace?
You listen, I gotta be honest. If you keep saying stupid things like this to me, I'm gonna crash out. I'm gonna crash out on live. If you keep saying stupid things like this, I'm gonna freak the fuck out. I'm gonna freak the fuck out if you say some dumb shit like that to me again, dude.
You have already crashed out.
No. You haven't seen the worst of it, buddy. You haven't seen the worst of it.
I asked you a question. What do you know about fighting fire?
I'm not a firefighter, so I don't fight fires. But shout out to everybody that does. If you're a firefighter out there, you're a true hero, genuinely. Okay. And shout out to everybody in California that's a firefighter as well. You're a true hero. But I'm not a firefighter. Are you a firefighter?
Not by trade, but I've been known to.
Who is putting this guy in charge of fire management? I need answers. I need answers. Oh my God!
I'm trying to answer that for you, but you won't.
Can you respond to anything I just said about the fire department budget? Do you have like any contrary evidence?
I'm trying to, but you will not shut the fuck up.
Well, cry more.
I'm not going to cry. You're the one that's been crying.
The crickets are squeaking out there in the yellow tire of the football field.
November 5th. So anyways, what do you know about fighting a fire that's bigger than your fireplace?
I don't fight fires. I don't know about fighting fires.
Okay. I'm a farmer. Okay. Where I'm at, we burn our residue off.
Sure.
That way it makes the ground easier to work. Okay. You picking up what I'm putting down?
I am picking up what you're putting down.
Okay. So I got neighbors that have crops in the field whenever I burn my shit off. Okay. You got it? You picking up what I'm putting down?
I'm still picking up what you're putting down. Yes.
Got you. If I want to burn my field off, I have to do good management for my turn rows, all that shit. I got to make a fire break. Correct? Oh, you're not a firefighter. You wouldn't understand.
I'm still waiting for the punchline here. I'm just waiting for you to get to a goddamn point here. I'm just waiting.
That way, the fire will not jump over on my neighbor's shit.
Yeah, so
and
it's a
burn
controlled
that fucking
burning.
crop
Yes.
up.
Yeah, it's a controlled
Well,
burning.
absolutely.
They do
is
that in
what
California. They do controlled burnings in California.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
If they did, why is the state burning the fuck up?
It is incredibly painful to talk to people. People like you make me incredibly sad.
No,
Because you're just it's incredibly painful to talk to somebody like you.
Incredibly stupid. Is
Yeah,
what
no,
I do.
I'm sure that's exactly why. This meteorologist over here, this weatherman, has cracked the code. If California's doing controlled burnings, how are they forced burning? Hey, buddy. First of all, they don't have a definitive cause for where the fire started. It could be something like a residential area or an electrical line. These are what officials are saying. So they don't have the origin point of this fire. However, what we do know is that there were hurricane-like winds, upwards of 70 to 80 miles per hour, in a very heated time, very warm, with a drought of around 7 to 8 months with no rain. Those conditions, according to officials in California, are some of the worst they've seen when it comes to a wildfire starting. So those conditions gave rise to this. It didn't have anything to do with them brushing the floors of their forests. It had to do with the fact that these embers from these fires that are already burning are being taken miles away by these 80-mile-per-hour winds. And then they're starting in different areas and they're burning thousands of acres. And that is incredibly difficult for them to contain.
No, I mean, I agree it's difficult to contain, but they have not went through and done what they need to do. Do you not understand that?
You're not saying anything. What are you specifically referencing that they didn't do?
Right, let me ask you this. Have you ever heard the term fight fire with fire?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Are you suggesting they spray fire at the fires?
No, dummy.
That wouldn't surprise me.
That's not what I'm saying. You know that bare dirt does not catch a fire? You know that?
Holy crap, man.
Bare dirt does not catch a fire.
Holy crap.
So what?
Man.
Okay.
So I'm still.
Do you want to listen?
No, I don't. I don't want to listen to you speak like any further. To be honest, I'm still waiting for anything for you to list that they didn't do that they should have done. What do you say? What didn't they do that they should have done?
They need to clean the damn forest floor.
They have been cleaning the forest. Forest management has over $2 billion in funding now because Gavin Newsom increased it from $200 million.
Let me ask you this. How many D11 cat dozers you think you can buy for $200 billion?
How many? Say that again.
What did you say, 2 billion or 200 billion?
2 billion.
2 billion?
Just be clear, just forest management. That's not like fighting fires. That's forest management.
Hear me out. Forest management. A D11 cat dozer costs roughly $2 million. Okay?
I'm so sick of this conversation. Okay.
I know you are because you're making yourself look stupid.
Yeah, it's me. It's me that's making myself look. I love your self-awareness. You're so aware.
They can buy roughly 50 fucking D11 dozers and push fire breaks. Yes, they're going to fuck up a little bit of the environment, but what are they going to save by doing that and push fire breaks through them?
Yeah, so everything that you're referencing, everything that you're referencing right now, I don't know what these 11 dozers that you're talking about. Don't care about them. Everything that we're talking about right now in terms of like controlled burnings or forest management or things like that, or monitoring the conditions of these forests, right? That's all been done by the state of California.
Using the dozers to stop the fire.
I can't even. I think Law of the Wild's here. I imagine he's probably has more patience than I do.
Do it.
No, it's not that. Yeah, I'm not driving a dozer, a bulldozer. I just can't listen to you. I can't listen. Yeah, obviously not. I can't listen to you.
You probably couldn't drive a bicycle.
And you couldn't drive a horseback on a Monday morning with the sun over the North Hemisphere, isn't that right? It's a famous saying.
God damn, son, I'm a jack of all trades, a master of none. And that's better than being a master of one.
You just keep hitting us with the most useless statements ever. Like what? Okay, that's fantastic. Good for you. I'm so happy for you. That's terrific. Wow.
You yourself are a useless statement.
Burn. Oh, damn! You got me.
I did the whole chat.
Burned you worse than those wildfires.
Oh. James, I don't like you. Law, do you have anything else to? Do you have anything to say on this?
I don't like you either. Yeah,
That's okay. I quite frankly, I don't want you to like me.
You got a question?
I'd actually, if somebody like yourself, okay, if somebody like yourself with the intelligence like you have was like, oh yeah, I like Harry, I'd actually be concerned.
I'm very intelligent because I've done stumped you 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the stumping to take place. Jules, thanks for the shout out Jules. We love Jules. Thanks for the galaxy. You're amazing. I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for the stumping.
Dude.
Well, I mean, you still haven't responded to my point about Gavin Newsom increasing the budget and the LA Fire Department not actually cutting their budget. I'm still waiting for a rebuttal and all that stuff.
I did respond to it, and you didn't accept.
You didn't. Do you have a contrary source on any of this stuff?
Do I have a contrary source?
Yes.
I've done forest management. I've done shit like that.
So you doing forest management, which by the way is separate than what they're doing in California right now. So what you're doing on your farm is different than what they do in California. But second of all, you doing that has no impact on the California forest management budget and also the LA fire department budget.
You're sitting here accusing me of not having acres of timber and neighbors that have.
All right, Law. You can. I'm gonna go get more water. You can take over from here and talk to. God love you, Law.
You need a drink.
Stop just listening to Law. Listen to Law. He'll teach you something.
You've been burnt the fuck up. You need a drink.
Okay, so let's just say that you've got 10 acres. I've got 10 acres of wooded on my 20-acre lot. I actually grew up working a 2,000-acre tree farm. How much land do you think you would have to clear to protect fire from jumping 5 miles from 80 miles an hour wind?
Well, that. I'll give you that. 80-mile-an-hour wind is different. I'll give you that.
That's what's happening in California.
You don't start a fucking fire in an 80-mile-an-hour fucking wind.
No, but if a fire's already there and then you have 80 miles an hour wind, it can carry embers a good 3-5 miles.
Okay. Pick this up. When you have them fire breaks knocked out, they're cleaned off, dirt does not burn up. You can set a fire on the upwind side of it and it burn backwards and not carry the embers as far. Are you picking up what I'm putting down?
Yeah, you're talking about backburning to deprive the main fire of oxygen so that it can't spread as fast. But again,
not necessarily oxygen, depriving it of fuel.
Well, and if that's a fire break.
No, sir. No, sir. When you backburn, you're depriving the fire of fuel. You're not depriving it of oxygen. When you backburn, you're depriving it of fuel. Okay.
Somebody Google backburning.
Somebody. I've done this shit my whole life. When you backburn, you're depriving the fire of fuel. It's on the upwind side of it, so the wind is blowing not necessarily toward the fuel source the wind's not blowing the fire towards the fuel source, it's blowing the fire away from the fuel source. So when the fire starts, it's not as big, and you're burning that shit backwards from the way the wind works.
Right, but that's counting on the fact that the wind is going to be heading in a specific direction the entire time.
Why do you think they're using airplanes? And hurricane winds usually stay in one direction.
How do you know what direction the wind is going to blow tomorrow?
Well, how do they know what direction it's blowing right now? Look at the fire.
It's easy to tell.
Look at the fire. Common sense. It's not. We're not cavemen anymore.
But in order to backburn, you have to do this before the projected path of the fire.
That's why you have predetermined fire breaks long before that.
But you have to know where the fire is going to be jumping to. And if you have 80 miles an hour wind, you're talking about clearing like 150 miles in a circle around. And that's just if you know where the fire is. How do you clear 150 miles of land overnight?
With that $2 billion Harry was talking about, they got all the time in the world and all the resources to make a grid across that state.
So you're going to tear up the entire state with 5 mile wide swaths of.
You don't have to do 5 miles, big dog. I'm talking to two people that has never dealt with fire.
I just told you. I grew up working on a 2,000 acre tree farm. Fire management. Thank God we never had a fire, but that's why when we did, if we had it, we had to try to contain it. But if we had 80 miles an hour, if we had 80 mile an hour winds, there's not a fucking thing we could have done to stop that.
2,000 acres, and you would have to do 5 mile wide fire breaks. That means that you wouldn't have a fucking tree farm. That tells me
listen to what I'm saying.
That you're sitting here lying about what you're talking about.
You're not listening. That's your problem. Is that if we were trying to protect against 80 mile an hour winds, we would have to have a 5 mile wide fire break in order to protect against that. That's not feasible.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. I'm talking to two people that have never dealt with this shit before. I can see that. They got the planes running to drop water on it. Okay, you drop water on the upwind side of the fire break that's cleaned off. That way, when you're back burning, you don't catch the shit that's upwind of fire. It's common sense. And that's apparently neither of you two got it.
Yeah, Harry, I don't know what to do here. He's speaking utter nonsense and just going with ad hominems against us.
I know you don't know what to do. Yeah. I know you have no clue what to do and no clue what to say.
You just conceded that if you want, you need to cut the entire state of California up into swaths. And if we wanted to protect against 80 mile an hour winds, they have to be 3 to 5 mile wide.
No, I did not.
Dry dirt.
No, sir.
In order to prevent any fire.
No, sir. No, sir. I did not concede to that. You assume that because you could have a pocket full of change and you still ain't got no fucking sense.
Frog in the haystack.
Yeah. Right. Oh, this is great.
You look like you look for the hay in the needle stack, motherfucker.
Again, nobody understands what you're saying. Nobody understands what you're saying. You look like you're looking for the grass in a dandelion patch on a Tuesday next to Bowser.
Oh my God.
We're speaking the same fucking language at this point. My God, let's just start throwing shit at each other. How about that?
Well, I figured out that you're scared to throw hands with Bryce Hall.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah, I decided not to box Bryce Hall. Yeah.
You decided not to. No,
That's
you
right.
decided that. You decided that.
Dean offered. Bryce Hall didn't take Dean up on it.
Yeah, Bryce Hall didn't take anybody up on any of their offers. So.
Yeah. Y'all want to? I got a place we can set a ring up. Y'all want to go and settle all that?
Wait, with me and Bryce Hall, or you and me and Dean and you?
Yeah, well, hell, I'll box you and Dean. There ain't no problem at the same time.
And this guy's also very well versed in boxing now. He's going to say he was Mike Tyson's training partner when he was in his prime, for sure.
Who said that?
I'm just saying that your next possible claim is going to be something like that.
No, I never claimed something that fucking stupid. But you probably would.
Good. I'm glad we're not claiming something that stupid. But like these people with decades of experience in firefighting and in forest management, and the experts in this field, well, you know, they don't know more than you, right? Of course, right? You would never claim anything that stupid, though.
No, I mean, how can I prove that he's an expert? How can I prove that you know anything? What this gentleman that you brought in?
Totally.
Well, I didn't claim to be an expert. I just have some work experience in this arena. But what you're saying just logically makes no sense.
Now the truth comes out.
No, I was referencing the people.
You're the guy
LA
who thinks that you're an expert because you burned some grass on your fucking farm. I mean, come on.
Well, I didn't burn grass. Hell, whenever I set a fire, it's gonna be anywhere from.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
A 40 acre fire to up to 330 30 acres at one time.
James, do you know what the Dunning-Kruger effect is?
What'd you do to Freddy Krueger for how many animal crackers?
That's about it. I'm not even going to try explaining it.
No, go ahead. I'm an intellectual.
No.
Oh my god.
No, go ahead. I'm an intellectual.
Yeah, and I'm Jamar Chase, and I'm playing in the NFL. Yeah, I'm a wide receiver for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, you'd actually be doing something productive then.
Yeah, well, I do. I am the Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver and their quarterback. Matter of fact.
Hey, why do you think Kamala Harris lost?
We're just gonna
pivot.
Pivot.
Well, I mean, hell, I'm getting tired of y'all trying to make me look stupid, and I'm the one.
No. You do that yourself. We really didn't.
You required no assistance from us.
Date is when you win the House, Senate, and the.
Oh, okay. So you agree that Joe Biden had a mandate in 2020? An even bigger mandate.
I don't guess I disagree with it, but I'm going to ask you this question: Where the fuck did 20 million? Where the fuck did 20 million motherfuckers go?
20 million voters did not disappear. I think law.
It's James, but okay. So where
no, I think it's Jeffrey. Keep going, Jeffrey.
Where did 20 million motherfuckers
Wait,
go?
sorry. Can you start, Jeffrey? Can you start again, please, Jeffrey?
Where did 20 million motherfuckers go?
They didn't disappear.
Hey,
Jaime, how many votes?
Did they just stay at home?
How many votes did Kamala Harris get?
Did they about 73 million?
75.
Then what Trump end up with?
And Biden got 81.
Yeah.
What's 81 minus 75?
Fuck, I'd have to pull my
Get your
calculator
toes out
out.
if you need them.
Fuck, I ain't got that many goddamn toes. Anyway,
what the fuck is going on? Oh my god.
Did the diabetes take the toes?
Oh my god, dude. What is this guy talking about?
So anyway, so 81 million. Trump got 74 million in 2020. So you add them two up. What you got? You got your calculator out. Y'all the ones got the screens and all that shit. I'm on the phone.
Hold on. What was that, Jeffrey? Could you say that again, please?
81 million plus 74 million. This is going to be the total for 2020.
Yeah, so I have the totals here. That's what I was looking up. In total, in 2024, 155 million people voted.
Okay.
In 2020, 158 million people voted.
Wrong. 81 million plus 74 million in 2020.
So just do that. I mean, not even factoring in the third party votes and stuff like that. Yeah. So just right. Okay, watch this. Ready? I mean, we're not even going to factor in the third party votes and things like that. We're just going to do this. You said let's watch. Ready? 81. Not even factoring in the third party.
18, dummy.
The screen's reversed. Try to keep up.
It's backwards.
It's backwards. 81 plus 74. Would you agree that hopefully you can read backwards? Would you agree that's what these numbers say?
81 plus 74, okay.
And again, not factoring in third-party votes. Can you read that number for me?
Hold your phone up to a mirror if you need help.
155. 81 plus 74. Okay.
And so as I said, that's not even factoring in third-party votes, which added around 3 million according to the total.
We're not worried about third-party votes.
That counts into the amount of voters that voted.
Oh, yeah? Well, who was third party that got that many damn votes?
In terms of, in 2020, there were libertarian, there were green candidates, and in 2024, you had the same. Write-ins as well. So just...
Hold on, if we had the same 2020 and same in 2024, third party, wouldn't that make you
where is the 20 million you're talking about?
Yeah, where's the 20?
What is 74 million or what she had 75? What Trump have this year or last year?
77.
77.
So it's 70. Can you?
He got 1 million more votes than he did the last time. Correct.
So 75 plus 77, just round numbers, rounding up or down, is 152 million.
And we got the same. And we got the same.
And that's not even the full total. In 2024 was 155, counting all votes.
Between them two.
And third-party candidates and write-ins and things like that.
That's not in third party.
Yes, it is.
81 and 74. Counting the third party.
No, that's between the two.
That's what you just said.
No, that's not what I said. Those two numbers are their totals in terms of round numbers. But if we're factoring in every vote for third parties as well, then the number for 2024 was 155.
And you just told me that the third party vote was the same in 2020 and 2024.
I'm saying that the candidates that no. Oh my God. I'm saying
that. You did say that.
Nope. My point to you is that the existence of third parties was present in 2020 and it was also present in 2024.
Well, there's always a presence of a third party, but you said
so that's the point. So when we were just looking at the
and you said it
when we were just looking at the round numbers, just the vote totals between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. That's what we were looking at.
Give me the vote total for 2024 for the third party only. Third party only.
It does on Cook Political Report. There's no third party only option. It just tells you the vote totals and Kamala Harris's and Donald Trump's total because the third party votes were too small.
I'll find another source.
I can look up vote totals for 2024 and see if there's a third party number. I don't think there probably won't be. Here we go. I actually have one. So in 2024, Jill Stein of the Green Party got 782,000 votes. RFK Jr. got 750. I don't think you've ever been right about anything.
I was just right now. Add them numbers up.
So first of all, it started at, I thought it was 20 million.
It's 15, 20, something like that. But
15 million, 20 million. There's something in that range.
You still ain't accounted for what is lost.
Right.
You still ain't.
I don't even know what to say.
Besides you. Where are 20 million missing votes? We've just told you where they all went.
And you couldn't give me the numbers to where they went. You could have faked the numbers. Hell, you act like I can look the shit up, get off live and look it up.
Why did you do that?
Give y'all the fucking glory.
Glory? Trust me, there's no glory to be found here.
Yeah, we're not enjoying ourselves.
A blind kid.
Well, if I had a life like y'all's, I wouldn't enjoy myself either. Going to NYU just to be a Dollar General damn public defender.
What?
I didn't stutter.
No, nobody understands what you just said.
I said you're going to NYU just to be a Dollar General public defender.
Well, if I was a lawyer for Dollar General, I'd probably make a lot of money.
Yeah, but you'll never be a lawyer.
So I'm not going to be a lawyer.
No, you'll be nothing but a public defender. Overglorified one.
Public defenders are lawyers.
Yeah, public defenders are lawyers, my man.
They're not any good.
Really?
Hear that, Law?
Yeah, I do hear that. What by what measure do you say that they're not any good?
How many public defenders you know kept a motherfucker out of prison?
Quite a few actually. Some firsthand knowledge even.
Really?
Perhaps.
Did they keep you out of prison?
Nope, never been arrested.
Oh, well, I'm proud of you. Proud of you for that. All right, what do y'all think about Biden?
Great, another topic.
Well, okay. Well, you want to keep going about election?
No, it's a hard pivot off of public defenders are useless to I'm sure this is going to be,
After I
what do you think about the rainbow down the hill on the prairie land next to the rabbit? That's what this topic's going to be. Go ahead. What are you thinking?
What do you think about Biden pardoning that gentleman? Damn, and that's even being nice to say about that. That had all the child porn and all that shit.
What's his name?
Fuck, I can't remember.
It's also not what happened, by the way, for the record.
Yeah,
yeah,
that didn't
yeah,
happen.
or what he
That's
commuted
why I
his
wanted the
sentence
name.
or whatever. Okay, let's be technical. I guess he commuted his sentence or some shit like that.
Yeah, and why did he commute his sentence? Do you know?
Innocent? Was he innocent?
Nope, it wasn't that he was innocent. Why did Biden do that?
Well, I couldn't answer that question.
Right.
I
So,
don't know.
so the point is, like, you don't read. That's the point. So this person was part of Biden commuting sentences because we did a swap with China. So that guy is on his way to China right now, and Joe Biden brought some American people who are being held in China back to the United States as a result of that deal. So he's not just like walking around the United States right now.
Oh, well, good. Maybe they don't take too kindly to child molesters over there.
It's not our, whatever they do, it's not our business. We have Americans on the way home, or I should say home now, because of Joe Biden. So can you agree with that?
If that's the truth, but I had never known you to tell much of the truth.
Well, you should look it up and read, which might be foreign to you, but something. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't use the word foreign. I know that's scary for you. It's something that you're not familiar with, per se.
No, not foreign's not unfamiliar to me. I got nothing against foreigners. I've worked with a lot of people on that was on H-2A visas and all that. Used to work for a man that farmed 22,000 acres. He had a bunch of South Africans and a bunch of Mexicans, and I really liked the Mexicans. I really did. Even though there was a language barrier, I could speak just a little bit of Spanish, just enough to communicate, and they could speak some of them could speak broken English. We could communicate. The South Africans, that was a mixed bag. Some of them I really liked. Some of them I did not like because of their attitudes.
Jaime, ¿piensas que cada persona que pueden hablar español son de México?
No entiendo. Habla español poquito.
So they were all Mexicans.
No,
That's what you said?
No. Did you not listen? Did you not listen? No, you did not. You did not.
And South Africans, but I'm just curious. It's pretty rare to have just pure people from the country of Mexico that are working there. How do you know that they were all from Mexico?
Well, shit, all the damn farm trucks that they drove had Mexican flags on them.
So that means that everybody in the car is Mexican?
And then you ask them, ¿Dónde está casa? Mexico.
Don't say it's not your house. Mexico is what they said. Okay.
I'm sure that's what they said. Wow. Well, James, this has been... Oh, he's still going. Okay.
The ones that did speak English, that spoke just enough that we could communicate, I asked them what the hell they said. They translate for me. I have nothing against people coming into this country legally and working, and you're not fitting to paint me like I got something against that. Okay? You understand that?
Did you vote? You voted for Donald Trump, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. So when Donald Trump is blaming, hold on. When Donald Trump is saying that immigrants are the cause of like a bunch of crime in the United States, they're responsible for a crime wave when undocumented migrants commit less crime. When Donald Trump in his first term handed out less green cards and work permits so people could come in legally and build their lives up. When Donald Trump is talking about mass deportation, even for people who haven't broken any laws here in the United States, if you vote for that, then yeah, I have a feeling that you might be against some folks like that. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. You said that come in illegally. You just said that. Come into the country illegally. Correct? Correct?
He's about to make a bad point. I actually didn't say they came into the country illegally. I didn't actually say the word illegally.
If they're legal immigrants and they have not broke a law, if they're legal immigrants and have not broke a law, there's no problem. If they are illegal immigrants, they broke the law when they crossed the border.
Unless they claim asylum.
Unless they claim asylum.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, well, the reason I I figured you don't care about law breaking is that you vote for Donald Trump, who was just sentenced today and is now officially a convicted felon. So you obviously don't care about violations of the law.
On a horseshit case.
Cool, sure. So what were the felonies that he was charged with and convicted of?
Where they changed the law to elevate.
I can't even have this conversation again.
To elevate.
What were the felonies he was charged with?
Falsifying business records.
Okay, and what was the prosecution's theory?
I'm not necessarily 100% good, but I've seen so much bullshit in the last fucking 3 years.
Cool.
What law did they change?
What law? It was to elevate the business records from a misdemeanor to a felony.
Yeah, they didn't change the law.
That's false information, son.
Nope. The misdemeanor falsification of business records is 175.10. That's been on the books since the 60s. The felony version of that is 175.05 is the misdemeanor. 175.10 is the felony. That's all they were passed as part of the same law. So it's been that way since the 70s.
And the way his fell in would be the misdemeanor side of it.
Well, no, because if you falsify business records in furtherance of another crime, that puts it into 175.10.
Okay, I guess you missed the news where Alvin Bragg said that he didn't even want to prosecute him, but he was pushed by the DOJ to prosecute him.
No, I didn't miss news that didn't happen.
Did you not?
I'd ask you to cite a source, but yeah, I want you to keep your shoes on.
Yeah, thank you. The benefit is there.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I'm not trying to help Harry count, so that's safe to say I'm going to keep him on for now.
Oh, right, because I forgot that the shoes are specific to counting, apparently, right?
Yeah, because you can only count on your fingers and toes.
Why would you? Okay.
The highest you can count is to 20 if you didn't pick that up.
Okay, sure.
I'm sorry I had to break it down for you.
Yeah, no, it's helpful when you say things that make absolutely no sense. It's hard. It's like helpful when you translate it into like normal English.
Didn't I just make it make sense for you?
Well, yeah. After you explained the useless statement, yes, like when you translate into normal English, when it's not just like some random words put together, that helps. Yeah.
That wasn't random words when I told you got to take.
I'm sorry. When you're talking about counting and you're taking off your shoes, you're just throwing random words together.
Boy, do you ride the short bus to NYU?
It's funny. Like, first of all, that's like really fucked up thing to say. Second of all, it's also funny that you make fun of like a top 35 school in the country.
I'm not making fun of the school. I'm making fun of you.
Well, you were saying earlier you were making fun of NYU earlier as well, and now you're making an additional comment to NYU.
I was making fun of you.
Right. Well, I still got into NYU, which is a top 35 school in the country.
And you still didn't get the joke.
No, we all understood it. We all understood the joke. It's just not funny, and it's like pretty fucked up for you to say. Not. I don't care. Like you can insult me, but like obviously we know the implication of your joke. It's like fucked up.
Obviously, you was too stupid to get the fucking insult.
Nope. We all got it. We just don't find shitty things like that funny.
Do you remember the time that me and you had a
can I just ask you a question? How many continents are there?
Continents? There's 7.
How many?
7.
Okay, can you name them?
You got Asia, North America, South America, Antarctica. Hold the fuck up. Africa.
Get those shoes off.
Oh, you're right. Hell, I ain't missing no fingers. Africa. What am I at? Asia, Africa, North America, South America, Antarctica. I got 2 fucking more. God damn. Boy, y'all stumped the shit out of me. Europe. Fuck me, there's one more. I gotta think about this. It's been a long time since I looked at a world map. Information I ain't needed to use since I was in damn 7th grade. I mean, you can make fun of me if you want to, but I'm up to 6. Give me a hint. How about that? Since I give you a hint about using your toes, wouldn't that be the gentleman thing to do?
I just want to be clear. Oh, look, you just got a hate speech violation because of your stupid joke. I'll keep you here for just a second. I want to embarrass you just a little bit more. Just for the record, everybody, this guy was making a joke earlier about other people being unintelligent and other people not knowing how to do their jobs or things like that. He can't name the 7 continents. Let's just skip past that. Do you know what the 3 branches of...
Motherfucker.
Cool. Do you know what the 3 branches of government are? Actually, James, you know what we're going to do with you?
I've answered this for you before. Executive, legislative, and judicial.
Cool. You know what, James, we're going to do with you? We're going to do a citizenship test for you and see if you could pass, okay? We'll just do like 10 questions.
I've already passed. I'm a natural born citizen. Unlike
well, then you wouldn't, if you were born here in the United States, you wouldn't have had to take it.
You was born in Singapore.
That's right, I was.
Moved to Dubai, and isn't that funny that your buddy Dean was talking about rich fucks, and Dubai is the most expensive place in the fucking world?
Yeah, well, when I lived in Dubai, it wasn't what it looks like now. Just to be clear, like I lived in Dubai like 20 years ago. So
why didn't you get offended by that?
Get offended by what?
By him calling people rich fucks. Your dad is like some kind of multi-millionaire.
My dad's a millionaire? Oh, God, I wish. Oh, that'd be so nice. Anyway, that'd be great. That'd make my life so much easier. Listen. Listen, we're going to
read Harry's biography written in Crayola. It'll be great.
It would be written
on a Chuck E. Cheese menu.
It would be written in Crayola, but he already ate the fucking crayons.
It's us that's eating the crayons. By the way, I couldn't mention the name of the 7 continents just a moment ago. All right, James, listen up. We're doing an American citizenship test. Are you ready? What is the supreme? Just be quiet, James. We're going to see 10 questions.
Hold on now. You can't sit here and lie. I did name all.
James, you missed Australia. It's okay. Go ahead, Harry.
What, James, listen up, James. What is the supreme law of the land?
Constitution of the United States.
Good job. Nice one. What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution?
Bill of Rights.
Great. Can you name 4 out of the 5 freedoms in the First Amendment?
Life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Hold on, wait. What was say the question again? What was that?
Oh, you heard preamble. You heard. It's also. That's also anyway.
What was the question?
That's also not. It's not correct. What can you name 4? And I'm expanding the question for you a little bit. It's 1, but you should be able to name 4 on the test. Can you name 4 rights or freedoms in the First Amendment?
The First Amendment.
Yes.
There's freedom of speech, religion, expression. I got 3 of them, motherfucker. I'll go and roast me on that shit then. Speech.
You already named speech.
Expression.
Assembly and petition your government for redress.
There you go. Yeah, I'll give you that.
Nice. How many amendments does the Constitution have?
20. Is it 26 or 27? Maybe.
Pick one.
20.
What was that?
Is it 27?
It's 27. Good job.
He got it. Good job.
Who is in charge of the executive branch?
President.
Nice. How many members of Congress are there?
A metric fuckload because they're all owned by foreign entities and they use the metric system. Congress, that would be the House and Senate put together. There is 100 senators, and that's a hard question to answer because I don't know how many representatives there are for state because it depends on population of state for your representatives. So you can shit Cammy on that one too.
435.
435 in the House. Can you name 3 cabinet level positions?
Chief of Staff?
No.
Oh, cabinet level position?
3.
That's on the fucking citizenship test for real?
Yes.
Cabinet? What cabinet? Kitchen cabinet? Presidential?
Top shelf, middle shelf, bottom shelf.
Yeah, you got a point. We can bullshit and have a good time even though we don't see eye to eye. All right, is that fair enough to say? Because y'all are having a good time trying to make me look stupid. No, go on, tell me what them are.
There's a
Secretary
bunch.
of Defense, Secretary of the Treasury, Secretary of Homeland Security, Secretary of Health and Human Services, Secretary of Education.
Okay,
Yeah, there's a bunch. There's a bunch.
Foreign Affairs.
I was gonna say some shit like that, but I didn't want.
Oh yeah, right, 100%. Yeah.
I'm serious.
I love doing that when I answer the question incorrectly. I was going to say something like that for sure.
What I say the first time? What was my first answer?
What was your
Chief of Staff.
You said Chief of Staff.
Okay, well, I don't get all that fucking technical in the shit.
Okay, when is the last day you can send in federal income tax forms?
October 15th. If you file an extension.
Okay, without an extension.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna tell me I was wrong?
Yeah, so I didn't ask with an extension. Yes, you're wrong.
Oh, without an extension? Is with or without?
Without.
April 15th.
Good job. Good job. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence?
Thomas Jefferson.
Nice. And when was the Declaration of Independence adopted?
I didn't know it was ever fostered. 17. What? I didn't ever know it was a foster child. You said it was adopted. 17. When was it adopted or when was it signed?
Adopted.
I want to say I'm going to be wrong, but I think it'd be 1775 when it was adopted.
Wrong.
Signed in 1776.
It was adopted in 1776. You are incorrect. When was the Constitution written?
That's where I'm thinking 1775, and that may even be 17.
No, you're off.
1787, ratified in 1789.
Okay. I did that. I wasn't a history buff. No, I wasn't a history buff.
Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s.
Revolutionary War.
1800s.
Try again. 1800s.
Oh, War 1812. How about that?
Sure. that works.
Revolutionary War.
Yeah, that works.
When was the Revolutionary War? Since y'all know so much. I mean, y'all ain't doing nothing but refreshing my memory. I mean, this is shit.
Hold on. I'm looking for a question. I'm looking for a question for you. Hold on.
This is all useless knowledge I learned a long time ago, and I'm just...
Okay, here's some geography for you. I'm trying to find a geography question. What ocean is on the west coast?
I'm good with north, south, east, and west. I'm just not good with oceans. You said west coast?
West coast.
I want to say Atlantic. I fucked that up. That's Pacific.
It's the Pacific. You're incorrect.
I fucked it up. But...
Name 3 states that border Canada.
3 states that border Canada. Okay, Washington.
It's 1.
I want to say North Dakota.
It's 2.
Is that still 1 or is that 2?
That's 2.
You got 2.
Motherfucker. I'm trying to think of what's west of North Dakota. What's east of North Dakota would be Minnesota?
Yes.
3. Represent law. Now name 2 states that border Mexico.
Oh, you got Texas, number 1. You know that. That's easy. And New Mexico, wouldn't it be?
Bang on. And when do we'll do one last one. Actually, we'll do 2 more. When do we celebrate Independence Day?
Oh, that motherfucker. What kind of question is that?
I think you didn't know the 5th grade test.
Yeah, I mean...
That's bullshit. There's no set day for it. Shit, I'm an American. We celebrate that shit every fucking day. 365 days a year, 366 on leap year. July 4th don't look like I don't know that shit.
Well, you didn't know the Pacific Ocean.
But I told you.
And you didn't know what the First Amendment protected. You thought it protected life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Okay, last one. Name 2 national holidays
Just 2 national holidays?
Two.
Oh, good.
And we'll take. Don't do Independence Day. Don't do Independence Day. Do 2 more.
Don't do that one?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I think you got me stumped here.
Now these are national holidays as declared by the government. So maybe that'll help.
Oh my God! I feel like we just had one. Be New Year's Day.
Yeah, that's one.
Damn. For the life of me, I got to take my shoes off and count how many days are in a year and do algebra. Son of a bitch. What about Memorial Day?
That's correct. That's correct. I don't know if you passed. I'd say that not knowing the Pacific Ocean is probably disqualifying. I think you should fail the test right then and there. But
well,
yeah, not knowing the amount of amendments to the Constitution, not great. That was for sure.
Well, I didn't quite listen to you too good on the first question. I'm sorry about that, and I answered 3 out of 4.
Well, you still didn't get it right, though.
I'll give you that. I answered 3 out of 4 on that one.
Right.
3 out of 5.
No, it was 4.
Yeah, but there are 5.
5 freedoms in the First Amendment.
Well, I mean, it's still First Amendment. I still stand behind First Amendment. 110%.
The one that you don't know? That's cool. That's great.
Well, freedom of speech. I mean, it's basically.
You know what? Freedom of speech does allow people like you to be stupid. So that is a right that's protected by the First Amendment.
It does the same for you. And it
absolutely protects anybody's right to be stupid, but especially yours. It especially protects your right to be stupid.
It allows you to have a stupid expression, too.
Just like you, as you've demonstrated many times.
I didn't necessarily
this conversation.
I didn't do that like you think you done, but
yeah. The 7 continents would like a word, and the First Amendment would like a word.
Australia's very disappointed.
Australia is very disappointed.
I fucked up Australia. Everybody forgets about Australia.
No, I don't. No, I think that's just a you thing. I think that's just you. I think you forget Australia.
Well, I said Antarctica twice. It starts with an A. I'm sorry. Whoopie fucking do.
You didn't say Asia twice or Africa twice, which both start with A's, but anyway. All right, dude. Get the hell out of here, right? Please don't come back ever. That was so painful of a conversation.
It was.
I mean, that guy. Oh my God. Brent, thanks for the $5. Harry, I'm licking my wounds after the Texas game. Came here to see your face and cheer me up. Already can't wait for next season. Arch Manning, you got a lot to be excited over there. It's a good program. Quinn Ewers, 4th down, fumbled. I also don't understand why on 1st down of that drive they decided to throw a pitch on.
Harry, you muted yourself.
Wait, can you guys hear me? Because my mic's not muted.
No, it's red lights on your mic still. I think you hit the mute.
Oh. Wait, hold on. Wait, there's no red light.
Yeah, still can't hear you. Unless it's just me. Is it just me? Oh, it must be just be me. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I can drop you down and bring you back
now
up.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay. I don't know. I might have fucked up or something. But Brent, you got a good program to be excited about. Kylie, thanks for the $15. This guy's a psychopath. Look at his first video. Also, there's a firefighter in your chat begging to come up. Oh, I wish I would have seen that. That's my bad. I didn't read the chat. But yeah, I didn't see his pinned video. Madison, thanks for the $1. Chad has been going off this whole time saying to check his pinned videos, but said trigger warning, so I haven't looked. I also didn't look. Toe, thanks for the $1. Guess sounds like toe matter, and quite frankly, there's only one room for toe matter around here. You protect your ground.
Toe matter from Cars.
Oh, it is.
Larry,
it
the
is.
cable guy?
It is. That's his profile
Toe
picture.
Mater.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Toe mater. I haven't. My car knowledge is not great, I guess. Sid, thanks for the $5. The dude's pinned videos. I guess this dude's pinned video is crazy. George, thanks for the 1 cent. I'm meaning to go to. You can come if you want. I don't know, but I don't know about that. I think the geography is difficult there. Kauda, thanks for the $50. You say no need to say my real name. Crashed out with Mater. Thank you all for that. You do love. Well, I appreciate you. W's for you in the chat. At least 50 W's for her. That's incredibly kind. Just spam the chat with W's. You're amazing. 50 W's at a minimum, at least. At least. Katie, thanks for the $1. Please tell this dude is a controlled fire. It's not the same as a wildfire. Never mind, you just did. Here's $1 anyway. Well, there you go. Russell, thanks for the $1. I agree with the previous comments regarding the LGBTQ plus community being scared about the next 4 years. As an African-American LGBT person in this country, I was so done after the election. Thank you for everything you do. We really need you and your voice. And we really need you, Russell. We need you in the fight and so many other people as well. Krista, thanks for the $5. Hey, Harry, thank you for inspiring me to be more active in the community. I just finished gathering a bunch of goods for LA fire victims delivering on Monday. Man, Krista, that's amazing. Krista, you truly inspire all of us to do good for others. Thank you for giving us the resources to educate and help others. Krista, you're amazing. The fact that you're putting in the work to help some people, you're fantastic. You're fantastic. Ali, thanks for the $1. Layla, jealousy is a disease and you are severely ill. Harry is possibly the most humble. Chris, girl is just mad I gained consciousness. Ali, you're on the right side. I'm just saying now. Sydney, thanks for the $1. I can't read that, Sydney. And Salem, thanks for the $1 as well. State Superintendent Ryan Waters said he's putting an end to sanctuary schools in Oklahoma. I will have to look that up. Amia, thanks for the $5 on Cash App, my man. And I love what you're doing. Will you tell him I said hi and I appreciate you? Thank you for being here. Harmony, thanks for the $2. I'm so sad about TikTok. How can we watch you? YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, all of the social media platforms are linked in my bio. And I think Law of the Wild, you probably have your stuff linked as well, just in case.
Yeah, I've got YouTube, Instagram, and Blue Sky on mine, so feel free.
Go check out Laws as well, and check out Parker, Dean, Chris, and myself. Trish, thanks for the $25. I'm so sorry for having to deal with Jeffrey. Yeah, that was not fun. That guy, I mean, he doesn't know his left from his right. Mackenzie says, $1. Please have mercy and drop this guy. Don't worry, we got there eventually. Stephanie, thanks for the $5. Thought I had enough confidence to debate my extremely MAGA dad after watching you. I didn't know what to say when he started saying homophobic slurs to me. His bisexual daughter never cried so hard in my life. Thank you for being you and making me feel like I have a community where my family clearly does not support me. I am so sorry to hear that. Wow, that is terrible. I mean, the fact that your own father is treating you like that and putting his loyalty to Donald Trump over his love for you is appalling. And you owe him nothing.
I want to say something there too. I grew up in foster care. I know what it's like to have be in those types of situations. It doesn't define you, and you are better than that. So I'm glad that watching Harry can give you a little bit of peace there, but just don't let that decide what your tone of your life and what the path of your life is going to be. You're worth so much more than what a single person thinks about you. And your father should be encouraging you and loving you, even if he disagrees with you. And the fact that he's not is a him problem, not a you problem. So please have faith that you can follow your path and know that there's a lot of people who support you who may not even know you.
W Law. Absolutely. I totally agree. God, it's just so sad to hear stuff like that, man. So sad. Mandy, thanks for the $1 as well. What in the tomater is going on here? What is going on with the Cars mentions tonight? What is happening?
Have you never watched Cars, Harry?
No, I did when I was young, but what's like?
His voice and his tonation was very much like Larry the Cable Guy, who does the voice of Tomater.
Oh, okay, I see. All right. I like that. I like the Cars reference, and I respect that. Darrell, thanks for the $1. Dark Wolf would like to come up. If he's MAGA, he's welcome to. And finally, Daniela, thanks for the $1 on PayPal. Thank you for all that you do. It seriously means the world. You and the rest of the DNC Avengers. That's what that's the name that they gave us at the DNC when they handed us our paychecks. Have hearts of gold, fighting for us and giving us a voice when we feel voiceless. It means so much. I don't have the words. Can't wait to see how far you go. Well, hey, I'm in this journey with you, Daniela. We're going to do it together, all of us as one, to push back against Donald Trump and the MAGA lunatics.
And Blake, I got your $3 for the best Dollar General attorney of all time. I appreciate that. And Emma, $10. It's not much, but hope it helps. Thanks for reminding me there are still good, smart people in the world. Thank you for the kind words. It will go to good use. Thank you.
That's awesome. By the way, just for the record, everybody, the Venmo and the Cash App in Law of the Wild's bio, all of that money, it goes to people who need it most. He is a public defender. Actually, I'll let you explain it. You do it way better than I do. I don't know why I'm like fucking yapping.
Yeah, it's quite all right. So even I am a public defender. Didn't go to Dollar General. I don't know what a Dollar General public defender is, but I do help a lot of people. And through your guys' generosity, I've been able to do things like I've got some money set aside that lets me pay booking fees for homeless people. More often than not, homeless people who are charged with petty crimes like simple trespassing, maybe shoplifting because they were trying to take some food to eat. Even if I get them get their charges dropped or get them released on their own recognizance, they still have to pay $25 for the pleasure of having been arrested, and you guys have been able to help dozens of people. We had a big donation from Lindsay, who actually helped me send 12 care packages to veterans and unhoused people who were dealing with, being incarcerated over the holidays. And we were able to help send them some care packages just to show them a little appreciation and make sure that they know that there's still people rooting for them, even if they're feeling really lonely. Particularly what really rubs me wrong is when people are dealing with substance use disorder, people who are dealing, with addiction. Sometimes when they get put on probation expects them to be perfect. And relapse is a part of recovery. Most people who do recover from their addiction, they relapse at least 3 times. It doesn't mean they're a failure. They just need a little bit of extra help. And so, unfortunately, sometimes the state thinks the help that they need is just locking them up and punishing them. We were able to show them some kindness and some love over the holidays when I'm sure it was a tough time for them. So thank you guys for all that the help that you do to make that possible.
Get some fucking W's for law in the chat. That's always amazing to hear, man. It's always amazing.
You guys too, because my heart's bigger than my wallet, and I would go broke if I was trying to help everybody who I felt who deserved it, and the fact that you guys make it possible for me to help more people is exceptionally great. So thank you guys.
Yeah, W to all of you guys as well. I mean, bottoms up. Yeah, W all you, man. Seriously, I want to say especially shout out to everybody because we did that fundraiser the other night for the Red Cross, raised $6,300. The community we have here is so powerful, so amazing. So I love when we talk about a good cause and we're actually able to do something about it. So really, really impressive. So shout out to all of you. Anyway,
you guys are best. If you at your convenience, I don't know if you want to do some more debates. I can hang out as long as you want. But I was trying to come up when you were talking with Dean about the TikTok Supreme Court stuff.
Yes,
we can do that. Some people are asking about HB7. Unfortunately, I had some chickens escape that I had to go chase down, so I couldn't come up at that moment.
Wait, like actual chickens?
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's fresh eggs in the morning. Can't hate that.
Yeah. Well, and I can sell them to MAGA for $33 a gallon. That's what they think eggs cost. So they're little money making machines over there.
I guess so. You have a right business going on over there. Wow. But definitely give us your input on all this stuff. I don't know what HB7 is, so you'll be telling me too. But however order you want to go with the TikTok and strict scrutiny, whatever.
Yeah. So we'll start with the TikTok ban. I did watch oral arguments. I've got a video on this. It's like 2 or 3 minutes long. But Harry, you did hit the strict scrutiny part of it. And basically at a high level, what the government was arguing is this isn't a speech issue. This is a data and national security issue. So the court doesn't need to worry about the speech issue because we're not regulating speech. We're only regulating the data security part of that. And TikTok's lawyers and the attorneys for the creators who are also allowed to argue on the case were saying, well, no, this is, you've bootstrapped this into a speech issue because us, me, you, Harry, we create content and we're able to put that content out. You guys get to decide whether to consume that content or not. Harry has been very successful. This is, by far my most successful platform. So I enjoy it and I enjoy being able to give that information to you. So that was their argument that you can't separate this data issue from the speech issue. Now, if it is speech regulation, if we're talking about regulating the content of speech, it goes up to strict scrutiny. Strict scrutiny is the highest level of judicial review. It is reserved for the things that are fundamental rights like speech. And in order to satisfy strict scrutiny, there has to be a compelling government interest, like something the government has to step in on. And then the second tier of that is that the restriction needs to be narrowly tailored to meet that government interest. And then for strict scrutiny, it has to be the least restrictive means. Now, what the TikTok attorneys were arguing is that there's a lot less restrictive means than a total ban. They said, we could put disclosures out there. We could have additional consent that people have to sign in saying you check boxes, you understand this, and this, in order to satisfy, a least restrictive mean than a total ban. I personally found found that pretty compelling. The government, on the other hand, is saying that no, this should be an intermediate scrutiny issue. Now, an intermediate scrutiny issue means that the government only needs to have a substantial interest. So it's not necessarily something that the government has to weigh in on, but it's something that the government has a strong interest in, and national security would fall into that realm. The government has a strong interest in national security, and their restrictions need to be narrowly tailored, but they don't have to be the least restrictive means. So as long as they're narrowly tailored, and in this case, they're arguing the narrow tailoring is, hey, we just don't want foreign adversaries to be able to have access to this data. So what I felt like was their biggest issue is there's actually been nothing that's been introduced in the record that shows that this has actually happened, that TikTok has been compromised by, the CCP, or that TikTok has, the data of users has somehow ended up in the wrong hands. They're all talking about hypothetical scenarios. And so that wasn't very compelling. So my gut is this, on this is I think I see probably 2 votes that I could count as probably solid no votes. Gorsuch, I don't think is going to go along with it. Kagan, not necessarily because of her arguments today, but the ways that she has ruled in the past on free speech issues. She's very much a strong proponent of free speech. I think that Roberts and Kavanaugh are very likely to be very deferential to national security and the government's ability to pass regulations for national security, which kind of leaves us with 5 up in the air. I think that there's a better chance than not that the ban is going to happen, that it's going to be upheld, but there is a chance that it goes into an administrative stay, which just means that the court's going to pause it and take more time to look at it. But in a weird sense, Donald Trump may be the one who ends up saving TikTok, because he has said that he doesn't intend on having his DOJ enforce it. So if they can get past that date, that what is it, 8 days from now, in order to get past that January 19th date, then Donald Trump can issue a memorandum or an executive order saying don't enforce the TikTok ban. And I think Donald Trump is inclined to do that, not because he thinks TikTok is great, but I think he thinks that having 170 million Americans praise him for saving TikTok is going to very much be a big ego boost for him. So that I think practically might be the most likely outcome, is somehow whether TikTok goes down for a day and then comes back up after Trump takes office and says, directs his DOJ not to enforce it, that can happen. Alternatively, if they do uphold the ban, TikTok says it's lights out on the 19th, but I don't think that it'll be for that long if it does happen.
Interesting. So you're with how likely, obviously it's kind of hard to gauge how likely a stay is, because it doesn't seem like, from my understanding or my listening of the arguments, that they didn't really talk about it all that much, but how likely do you think a stay is?
So there's 2 types of stays that they could issue. One is a administrative stay, which means we're not taking any look at it. We're literally just hitting pause so that we can do some more work on this. The other is an injunction. So maybe they're saying, we're going to stop this from going into effect. And then what they might do is send it back down to the lower court. And that could be what happens. Sometimes SCOTUS likes to kick the ball down the road. Maybe they send it back down to the lower court, and say, hey, we need more information about what are the actual threats. We need more information about, are there least restrictive means? Was this part of the calculus? So they could send it back down to the court and try to get more information. And if they issue a temporary injunction, it's because that the TikTok would have a likelihood of success on the merits. That's typically a good indication that they're going to win in the long run. I'm not quite sure. It could go either way if they do decide to go the stay route.
And I think a criticism I've heard of the idea that Donald Trump could step in is that, would Apple or Samsung with their Play stores or App Store even want to risk it? Because obviously the fines are so big per user. Would they, even if Donald Trump's we're not going to enforce it, would they even go through with keeping it on their stores?
Yeah, so that's the big issue, is it has to be the willingness of the systems, and we see this with devil's lettuce issues, is that some banks just don't want to get in that business at all. Even though the federal government has said that they're not going to be enforcing it in the states that that have passed it, that they're still not going to get involved. So it does require some willingness. And this is just a conspiracy theory that popped up in my head. Maybe this is some play to bolster the crypto market. If Visa and MasterCard and all the banks don't want to do business with TikTok, hey, Bitcoin and Ethereum and all of these other, coins, Dogecoin probably, you can come and buy your TikTok coins for that. So there might be some avenue. And then, of course, like if the app stores don't want it, you could just go to TikTok's website and download the app and just install it, without going through the official app store.
Interesting. Yeah, that's one of the only kind of concerns I've seen with like Trump stepping in, and it is scary to like put our faith in Donald Trump's word on something of being like, oh, I'm going to save it, and trusting Trump. But I don't have any more questions on this. Maybe if anybody in the chat does, I'm sure Law would happily answer. But
yeah, I did see somebody had a question. Let me try to pull it up. They sent me $1 to ask a question. And question about the ban. If so many people are against the ban and millions creators are making their living off of it, and then it cuts off for me there. But I think I see where you're going with that. I've heard a lot of things. I got tagged like 1,000 times in a video about somebody talking about a class action lawsuit. A class action lawsuit isn't going to be likely. Unfortunately, the government has what's called sovereign immunity. You can't sue the government unless the government gives you permission to. And they have to do that either, through a specific cause of action that's outlined in statute, or they have to waive their sovereign immunity in a particular case so that it can be heard on the merits. So naturally, it's not very common for the government to say, yeah, sure, we'll let you sue us.
Interesting. I didn't even know that was something that's being conjured up.
Yeah. It was one video that was hey, what if all the creators got together and did a class action lawsuit? And sometimes there are class action lawsuits that you can do against like government officials in their capacities. You can sue them in their official capacity, not the government themselves, but a particular person. But in this case, if they're just enacting a law, if they're following a law that's been written by Congress, especially if the Supreme Court's already weighed in, any court's just going to toss that lawsuit out immediately, just because it's already been found constitutional and that they're following statute, and you can't sue them for following the law.
Oh, that doesn't sound good. It's not very promising.
Yeah, I'll touch base on HR 7 really quick. I know it's abortion legislation that passed the House. A similar bill did pass the House last year as well. I wouldn't get too worried about it. There's some of the provisions of the bill. I think it says that women, it also has to recognize that men have a say in the abortion as well as like the community. It's some really terrible language in there. But in order to get any action on it in the Senate they have to get to 60 votes in order to get through the legislative filibuster. And I don't think that they're going to have enough momentum to get there. I'm not even sure they could get to 50 with the Republicans that they have there on a bill like this. They definitely won't get to 60.
Interesting. I haven't read up at all on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Though we'll see, they might get a little bit froggy about it. Somebody did ask about using a VPN to access TikTok. Probably not. From what TikTok says is if that ban goes into effect, literally like their servers that are hosting what we're watching right now are going to be shut off. Like they won't even work. So it's not a matter, maybe you can access TikTok, from another country's servers if you're using a VPN. I'm not sure how the app would handle that. Maybe the app would like roll over to, you can use Canada servers or, Ireland servers or something like that. But that would have to be an app, actual function of the app allowing you to roll over, and then you could use a VPN to do that.
I have one last question I think that I can think of. If you had to gauge what you listened to today, what do you think is the best argument in favor of the government, and what do you think the best argument in favor of TikTok is that you heard?
Yeah, I think the best argument for the government would be that if you could articulate that the CCP is able to influence ByteDance, and ByteDance is able to influence TikTok USA, which is its own USA corporation, and that TikTok USA has no ability to say no. And that even if TikTok USA entered into like a national security agreement, if they agreed to audits and all that kind of stuff, that at the end of the day, that information could just be grabbed by foreign entities. I think that would be a compelling argument to say, hey, look, yes, you're a U.S. corporation, but if a foreign adversary can just reach in and grab it and say, forget all your laws. Now, unfortunately, not a lot of that's in the record, but that's what they're worried about. For us, for the TikTok creators, I think the strongest argument is that, and something that they did point out there is, look, Harry, you've got far more followers here than you do on Twitter, right? You got far more followers than you do on YouTube. Then, me too. I've got, on my personal Twitter account, I've got a couple, few thousand, my YouTube, Blue Sky, and, Instagram are nowhere near that. I'm barely cracking 100 yet. Over here, I've got 40,000. For some reason, TikTok has been able to figure out a way to make the algorithm put content that people want in front of their eyes. And to deny people that is a content-based restriction, and it has to meet strict scrutiny, and the government can't meet strict scrutiny. If the court evaluates this on strict scrutiny, the government's going to lose. And that's why the government's fighting so hard to keep it out of that least restrictive means test that strict scrutiny would have. So I think our strongest argument is people want to use TikTok. If we are concerned about our data getting into Chinese hands, let us make the decision about whether or not we want to assume that risk. Put a warning on the screen that says, hey, there are concerns that because ByteDance is incorporated in China and China has the ability to exert influence over ByteDance, your data could end up in Chinese hands. And then let us decide, you know what, I'm not cool with that. I'm logging off the app. Or, you know what, that's a risk that I'm willing to accept because I like being able to connect with people. And that's a risk, and put that in the people's hands and don't make it so that the government has to protect us from ourselves.
And do you think that they'll use strict scrutiny?
That's where I'm not sure where they're going to fall. That's where there's a lot of ambiguity. I don't think that, a lot of times you try to glean into where a justice is going to fall based off of the questions that they ask. But a lot of what they do, and Kataji Brown-Jackson is excellent at this, is she steelmans arguments. She will be grilling, TikTok's creators about things, and you're like, oh wow, she's not on board with this. And then all of a sudden she starts grilling the Solicitor General about things. You're like, oh wow, I thought she was on their side. Like what she's looking for is she pulls up the weakest parts of their argument, puts them on display, and says, how can you overcome this? So then it's really hard to kind of get a nose count on where they're going to be at on any particular issues. And that's where I kind of came up. I think there's definitely two that are for, two or four against, and just my gut based off of, and actually Thomas and Alita are kind of wild cards in this too. Normally, I think they would go on national security side, but they are kind of so in the tank for Trump that if Trump really doesn't want to ban, and he's likely going to end up replacing them, they're probably not going to want to tick him off. So if they think that it's going to help Trump, help him get, replacements for them that are going to be to their liking, they might go along with, whatever Trump is directing them to do.
Yeah. And so I guess we expect a decision by what I think I was reading next week at some point.
So Wednesday is the next official order day. So kind of cutting it close there. They can release the order any day that they want. But orders are typically released on Wednesday. So that would be the latest I would expect we would hear about it.
Wow. That's 4 days before. That's crazy. Well, yeah, that's all the questions I can think of for now. It's just a crazy day.
Yeah, for sure. Guys, I know that you guys have been sending some donations in, and I can't keep up with all of them. If you do, I do have my Discord in my link tree in the link in my bio. So if you do have some other questions, you can hop in the Discord. There's me, my good friend, Paralegal Cass. She's excellent on these things too. You can, we can try to help you out there. You can send me a message there. I try to keep up on my TikTok messages, but it gets insane sometimes with everybody sharing things and stuff like that. So I may or may not see it. It's not a snub to you guys. But that being said, I do have a couple more donations. Cass, Speak of the Devil, $20. And hope you have the fingers and toes to count it. That's a good one. Blake, $1, making fun of the guest. That was good. Oh, Megan, $50. W Megan, thank you so much for that. And Jennifer said $10, buy a homeless person a meal for you guys. I will definitely put it to their needs. Thank you. Glenn for $20. Thank you. Kate for $10. Deb O for $25. There's a booking fee right there. Thank you very much. Devin, the $1, I answered your question. Krista for $1. Can creators register for unemployment if the ban goes through? Probably not. You have to be like a W-9 or a W-2 employee to get unemployment. So unfortunately, no. And Annabelle, $1. American student studying abroad in Canada. And you had some more question there. It cut off here. Unfortunately, it's not going to be about what your phone is capable of. It's going to be about whether the TikTok servers are even allowed to operate. So right now we're connected to TikTok USA servers. If those are shut off, I don't know if the app will roll over to out of country servers or if it's just going to go dark for us. So I can't answer that.
Damn. Well, anyway, we'll stay in contact about this as we get closer. I think I'm
absolutely.
Wrap up the live there. Law, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for coming up and sharing your wealth
pleasure.
of knowledge.
Everybody, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Go follow Law, everybody. Go follow. He'll be in the comments. We'll pin his comment. Mods, if you see Law of the Wild's comment, please pin it because he has pages I would love for you to guys to go follow as well on different platforms. Ladies, gents, I have some people I need to shout out briefly. Russell, thanks for the 5 cents. If the ban happens and you start doing YouTube lives, will you have a schedule? Yeah, most likely. I'll have something like that. Again, if one of the mods see Law comment, just pin it. There it is. Follow his page. And then, of course, go to the link in his bio. He's expert analysis on some of this stuff. So as you just saw, really, really great source of information for a lot of these like really, really complex legal matters. I would highly recommend him. Jennifer, thanks for the $10. Thanks for being a good person. Also, the last guy was insufferable. Jafer and Jason. Shout out Jafer and Jason. I appreciate you. Jaden, thanks for the $1. Harry, missed you tonight. Hope you had a good Friday. You too, Jaden. I hope you enjoyed your Friday. Tyrell, thanks for the $5. I said this before, but didn't hear a response because I closed out of the app. I'm 32 and incredibly envious of your intelligence confidence. Do you read a lot and have a great memory? Oh, yeah. So I was saying, I don't think my memory is exceptional by any stretch of the imagination, but I think it's just a lot of daily reading that, like helps you keep yourself informed, like on the California wildfires and like this whole lie about the budget and the funding for forest management, things like that. Just daily reading, I think, can really help you push back on people who spread misinformation with that stuff. Logan, 1 cent. Are you going to be doing mostly daily lives on Instagram once TikTok is gone? Probably not on Instagram. Probably YouTube. It's also like YouTube's, we can have a more like professional setup and maybe I'll look into Instagram Live. I don't know how much about it though. Jennifer, thanks for the $5. Harry, I just love you. Jennifer, I love you back. Your lives are always super engaging. I'm always on an emotional roller coaster. 1 minute I'm laughing, the next I'm yelling at the guests and back to laughing. It really does kind of go like that with these folks, man. It really does. I appreciate you. Devon, I see your $1. I see. I won't read it out loud, but I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. That makes me feel sick. Jack and Piper's mom, thanks for the $5. I really appreciate it. Thanks for telling that guy to shut up after he called that lady a sweetheart. I hate when men call me that. Yeah, it's just gross. It's just gross, man. Megan, thanks for the $50. Can we get some W's for Megan in the chat? MEGHAN. All the love, Harry. W Megan, I appreciate that so much. Thank you for supporting on one of the last TikTok lives, presuming it doesn't go our way. So yeah, that really means a lot, man. I appreciate you all like hanging with me in these, last few days. If that is the case, again, I'm very pessimistic. So W Megan in the chat, it really means a lot. Thank you so much, Megan. That's incredibly kind. Really, really goes an incredibly long way. Nicole Hernandez, thanks for the 25 cents. You can skip saying my name. Well, I apologize. I'm sorry. I just kind of, but I don't think this is talked about enough when people say if Puerto Rican people are so scared of Trump, why they vote for him, even though here in the island, we don't vote for the president. If we move to the states where we can, people believe that if they don't vote for the party Trump, the current PR government supports, the island will lose its status and benefits of its territory of the states. Don't know if I'm explaining myself correctly, but you're smart. I'm sure you'll get it. It's just a pain knowing that the mentality from people who are here are it's just a pain knowing that's the mentality of the people from here that are able to vote. Well, yeah, I mean, I totally understand what you're saying. And the fact that like that even has to be a consideration, that you have to be like nervous about losing support from the president because you don't support him is, it's heartbreaking. It's kind of crazy that this is the reality we live in. DJ, thanks for the $5. Go to the favorited app to stream. I'm not 100% sure what that app is. I know probably a bunch of people are talking about alternatives, but we'll see what happens. Anyway, you know where to find me: YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Snapchat, Blue Sky, Facebook. All those links are in my bio. It means an incredible amount to me if you go follow on all those platforms. They're all in the bio. And as I mentioned, I'll be most active if TikTok gets banned, most active on Instagram and YouTube and Twitter. Those will be my top 3. And of course, Threads and Blue Sky and the other written apps. But those will be my top 3: Instagram, YouTube, Twitter /Threads /Blue Sky. So all those links are in my bio. And yeah, have an amazing day tomorrow, guys. It's a Saturday. Enjoy your Saturday. Do me a favor, watch some playoff football. I know people might not be big football fans or they don't watch football. Go watch some football. Just lay on the couch with your friends, family, and loved ones and enjoy your day. Yeah? Sound good to you? Sounds good to me. Follow these people are live right now. Isaiah Martin, Amanda Rose. Go raid them and tell them hi. You know what? Actually, can y'all do me a favor? Can you go raid my friend Cole? I want you to go say hi to Cole for me. His name is Cole Perez. COLEPARESS1. That's my guy right there. He's not political. He's not political, but he's a trans man. And his content surrounds him being a trans man and how Republicans and like people on the right go after him and stuff like that. So if you go show him some love, please do that for me. His name is Cole Perez, COLEPARESS1. And in that, say Harry Raid. Fill the chat with Harry Raid. Say Harry Sisson says hi. I haven't talked to Cole in like a month or so, but tell Cole I said hi. That's my guy right there. I really appreciate Cole. So Cole Perez 1, COLEPARESS1. Cole Perez 1. I'll say it one more time. Cole Perez 1, COLEPARESS1. Again, a trans man who is, people have targeted him his entire life. So this is a real fighter, a real fighter, somebody who's really perseverant. So I would definitely go check him out. Go say hi. And of course, go say hi to Isaiah Martin if you want some debates. Isaiah R. Martin. Of course, he does TikTok debates. He's doing them right now. But I would say maybe Killer, can you put Cole Perez and Isaiah R. Martin on the pin if you could be so kind. But yeah, Cole Perez, COLEPARESS1. Say Harry Sisson Raid, Harry Raid. Fill the chat. Tell him that. That's Cole Perez's username right there. COLEPARESS1. I know I'm saying it over and over again, but he doesn't. This is a new raid for us. Not many people aren't familiar with Cole. So go show him some love. Go show him some support. Go tell him we appreciate him. And Harry Sisson said hi. Cole Perez, COLEPARESS1, and Isaiah R. Martin, ISAIAHRMARTIN. The Katie, bye Harry. The Tremendous 8, support you so much. I love the Tumultuous 8. Those are the usernames right there. Cole Perez, COLEPARESS. I'll say it slowly. Sorry. COLEPARESS1 and Isaiah R. Martin. All right, everybody, go show some love to them, please. Please go show them some love and tell them we appreciate them and go hang out with them for a little bit. All right. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you all so much. We'll talk soon. All right. Bye, everybody. Mwah.